Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am Brett Mayo.
And I'm Matthew Mayo.
And I am Brandon. Who am I here? Mayo. And last night we watched The Stepfather.
Well, we watched not the stepfather, but the father that stepped up.
I don't... Is killing your family stepping up?
Sure.
Also,
Matt,
do you
back me
think...
up.
Is this... No, don't... Matt, come on. Be a free thinker. All right?
Pre-thinker.
I mean, I think we'll have to get into it. He's a deeply motivated man with good intentions.
Do you think he's infertile? Can he have kids?
He's definitely infertile.
I'm not
He's shooting out blanks.
privileged to answer that.
Okay. Yeah. So, damn it.
Normal broadcasting will be discontinued for an indefinite period.
Thanks for warning.
They walk among us.
Now they're watching us too, huh?
I saw someone. I swear to God.
I'll make it easy for you.
A remarkable first attempt.
That's what this film is all about.
Okay. The stepfather. El Padrastro.
1987.
Yeah, from 1987. Apparently, there are like 4 of these. I didn't even know this
And a remake.
existed.
I watched the remake in theaters without knowing it was a remake. But I also hated it, so I think it's okay. So it gave me the same... It captured the same vibe as the original, in that it was a boring piece of crap.
You hated
Yeah.
this?
Remakes I kind of struggle with, so that was a nice change of pace.
Well done, remake director.
Mm-hmm.
You think the guy that remade it watched the original and he's like, I hate this, so if I'm going to make a remake, I'm still going to hate it. I'm
I'm
not
going to make this a
changing
piece
it."
of shit.
He goes,
Yeah, because that
Hey.
is what it is.
I hate this. It's not good. I know I can make it the same.
I can meet or do worse.
My skill level is adequate.
You
me a
talk about a
TV film
movie that's just lacking any kind of anything.
What about a Terry O'Quinn delivering line
That's it.
after line?
He's
I do think
great.
the actor. Yeah, I think the main guy in this was
John
actually
Locke?
really, really good.
Yeah, but other than that, though, the movie just kind of flows through. It's kind of boring at times.
It
Yeah.
It feels
It
like
really is.
a Lifetime movie. A lot of
Yeah.
lot of this movie feels like a Lifetime movie, except and even in the beginning, but it takes a hard cut once you get to him downstairs after showing his dick, right?
Yeah. So when you play this on Amazon, the first thing that it brings up is there's nudity in this, and you're like, okay, that's interesting.
Ooh.
Then within 3 minutes of the movie, you see his peen, and you're like, oh god, did we waste our nudity scene on this?
No.
Actually, I like that the
There's
original
more.
director felt this had to be included. Is what gets me.
Huh?
He's
Yeah.
like, I really got to show the story.
This
of
man with his bush and his.
So what's the opening scene? Him naked, exposing himself as the man he is.
I want a penis.
What
is
other nudity exists in
The
this?
daughter, she's
the
taking a
16-year-old
fucking
daughter.
shower, and I see a supposed 16-year-old daughter's ass, and
and breast.
yeah, and breast.
So thanks,
Oh.
movie.
That's weird. Somehow I
No.
didn't.
It's
How did I miss that?
well, I'm just saying
you fall
both times
asleep
in this
again?
film.
No, I did not. Somehow this movie was 3 times more boring than Cat in the Hat, and I stayed awake the whole time.
What's wild is I actually had to take 2 attempts to finish this film, though. Not because I fell asleep, because I watched it to a certain point, had to pause it, do something, came back, and I was like, wait a minute. Did nothing happen? Or did I miss something? Turns out nothing happened.
I feel
I just
like
went back and
Brandon's
rewatched the
getting
whole film.
offended right now. Like, you motherfuckers. I love this movie.
No, guys, I'm totally fine. We are all entitled to our own views in this world, even when we don't
Like
really
this-
know what we're saying or doing, like YouTube. We're entitled to things.
I'd love to know where you would differ with us as far as this movie not being boring.
It's wild that this is a
It
horror
is-
film, and there's literally one spot of horror, and it's in the last 5 minutes, and it lasts 5
There's
minutes.
a damn good jump scare, though.
So it is boring. I will give you that. But Terry O'Quinn makes this so, I don't know. There's a bunch of batshit elements to it. The daughter, her doctor talking, that's weird. The lines from Terry O'Quinn that he delivers, amazing. The mom, she's fat shit, and Brett will talk about it later. She does deliver a hell of a line. I mean, because it's awful, but she delivers it.
She's a
Do you think
terrible
Terry
actress.
O'Quinn wanted to stepfather the rest of the cast?
By
Like, he's
wait. Do you mean by like raising them or by killing them? Which-
Killing. From now on, when I say the word stepfather, I purely mean it as a mass murderer. There's no family part of it to me. But like, yeah, do you think he's like sitting in the trailer like, these guys aren't pulling their weight. This is supposed to be a functional cast. We're supposed to be together in this. Terry, we need you on set.
A cast is like a house. It needs a strong foundation. He was
Yeah, well
dropping like
said.
those lines
This
on him.
movie for a family. A traditional cast family, if you will.
Acting. That's what's missing in this world. What? Terry, are you dropping lines from the movie on me? Yes, director.
Terry, that's a prop knife you keep stabbing me with. I told you it won't work.
Also, Terry,
Give
put
me a
your
chance.
fucking clothes on. We don't want to see your penis anymore.
No,
The
this
movie's
exposes
just-
me.
The movie's just beginning. The movie's just beginning.
I'll
You are
all of you
fully
find a new
erect
movie
coming
and
at
next
me,
lot
Terry.
over.
Get away.
Terry, but yeah,
He does. He comes big. He comes big and strong in
That's
this.
what she
And
said.
yeah,
Thank
thank you. And no one else
I don't think
matches his weird energy.
The mom does in that one, the line you talk about, she does, because in that moment, she becomes somebody different. And
She
I thought,
does.
when the first time I watched this, I was like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if suddenly she veered off hard because her daughter sucks so much, and she was just like, all right, I'm going to join you on this murdering spree.
Yeah, like she's like, hey, Terry, what's his name in this?
It's
Phil?
Shit.
Is it Phil?
Jerry, it's her dad.
Jerry.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jerry. I know what you're doing. I know what you've done, and I want in.
So do I
I'm
join
in.
the club?
Mm-hmm. So
Well,
do they?
it doesn't really work if it's both of us. How do we marry you into a family?
Let's go to Utah.
Yeah, she's not finding a single dad with kids.
Well, let's go to Utah.
Oh,
Let's
Yeah.
foster parent.
that's just darker. It's just getting darker.
Oh my God! Yeah, that is much darker. It's like
I don't know why.
That's
It ends
actually
with the
a
same
pretty
amount of dead
common
children.
occurrence as far as like
Yeah, bro, we don't
Some
want to
of
talk about that.
yeah.
no?
No. We want to
This-
talk about this naked stepfather, not the real one.
Can't tell if like Matt was like somehow like foster parented when he was growing up and like it's a touchy subject for him or what, but
There was a
I'll veer
weekend.
away.
His father Balto left him when he was 2.
Oh, Balto.
Come back.
I went home with the wrong family from the
That,
park.
that's a fucking dog. Get away from it. It's gonna bite you.
He's mine now.
That's
What
that
happened to the
dog that-
dog in this film, by the way?
What
Did he
happened
kill
to
the
what?
dog in this movie? Did I miss that?
No, the dog runs away.
Yeah,
I believe you. I'm going to choose to believe you.
he
I
has a
prefer
knife
that
in his
ending.
hand, and you think he's about to like fix the family.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a weird scene because she's able to take a shower and everything before he shows up to kill. What's he waiting on?
So you remember the shower, but you don't remember her ass because that was like the whole point of the shower for them.
I guess, yeah, it's just not
Yeah,
something
that
that
scene was literally only in the film for that, which is
Huh.
very weird.
And
maybe
it
we're
was.
just numb to the nudity of women in movies, but you know what I'm not
No, it
numb
was just
to
you, Brett,
is
that forgot.
a man's penis, like in one of the first scene of the movie.
So instantly, most men see it like, how could they do that? Fuck this goddamn
that
film.
sign.
That's disgusting. And then the lady gets naked and like,
This is art.
Yeah, it's artistic.
talk
Well, I
about a
think we're
good
kind of missing
movie.
the.
Well,
After
honest-
seeing his wang-a-lang, it does kind of go into the only graphic scene of this whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, like Brandon
The
said,
dead
it's a very different element from the rest of the movie. That scene.
family. It actually kind of sets expectations pretty high for this film,
That's
and
what
then
I thought.
and then chooses not to even approach him.
So, two things. And within like 30 seconds there,
I'm holding him to it.
you see a penis, and then you
Same
see a family fucking destroyed downstairs.
Two things.
Kids, everything.
Phrasing on that. I think phrasing. I think we should say a family murdered.
No, I'm gonna keep it.
Downstairs.
I'm gonna keep
Damn
it.
it.
I don't think he was sexually aggressive toward any of these people.
Well, yeah.
No, but damn it,
Not just the way Brandon's saying it.
you see a penis, and a family's destroyed downstairs.
Yeah, I think we got shorted here because the murders that he committed
penis?
before were planned. Yeah, well, I think he got shorted there. But
Hell.
the murders attempted murders that we actually get to see him play out are like spur of the moment, and it's not as maniacal or scary. I don't know. We're just
That room looks like the Dexter room. When Dexter's a kid and he's found in like that
Oh, is
container
the-
or whatever.
Yeah, with the blood, yeah.
That's what it looks
Yeah.
like. I'm like, what?
That would have been a good movie. Do you think, like, when they were making this film, they wrote that scene and they're like, shit, that should have been the film?
yeah. What if
We
they
might need
just
to go
showed
back.
flashbacks every once in a while of what was happening?
Yeah.
So like you
Or
can
did a
see.
montage? Ooh, 80s montage? That's
Well,
in the 80s.
Is it going to
A
overlap
lot.
when he's
Murder
downstairs
with my
cussing
family.
himself out or cussing the world
Yes.
out? All right.
That's my point, yeah. So he'll be downstairs cutting wood and just getting frustrated, and you can see what's happened before.
As long
And
as
maybe
he still
you see
cusses
another family.
and goes angry at himself. I love when he's talking to himself.
I actually thought that scene was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, now we're
And
just
then
giving
his
too many
his
compliments.
explanation for it was also pretty good. I'm in sales. I got
Wasn't
to
an
put on
explanation,
a
it was real.
face.
If people would just give him space, he wouldn't murder his family. I feel like this is a pretty easy deal with this guy. He comes in, he makes your family home.
Space.
You don't piss him off, he doesn't kill you.
His daughter got kissed and
No, she was
changed
raped.
everything.
She's too young for that. She's
was
basically a
raped.
baby.
On,
Yeah, she was raped.
on
The lips.
their doorstep, she was raped.
I,
That
like,
goodnight kiss came out of nowhere.
I love that the mom comes out there and he's like, he was trying to rape her.
And she's
And
like, what?
That kid's like, what the fuck?
God damn, bro.
I'm 16 too.
And the mom acts aggressive towards him at first, and then she's like, Jerry, what are you doing? You're undoing all our good work. And I'm like, how about
Oh,
where was the balancing act on this at the first time?
yeah.
Like, let me figure out what's going on. The neighbors were looking out there and they're like, what's going on? He was raping her.
Oh, well, enough of that
And then the
tonight.
mom lets her line go.
Not only that, all that happens and then she runs away at nighttime.
It was a different time.
She does the butterfly effect run. Where are you going, sweetie? Where are you going? Just crying down the street.
She'll be
Nope, there she
back.
goes.
But what if another man tries to rape her, Jerry?
Well,
Since you're so concerned about that.
she'll scream even
No.
louder.
Not on my watch. Oh, so we should actually do that thing where we kind of talk about the cast.
Where I talk
Cast.
about the cast, and you all are
We talk about
Spectator.
it. We do it together. You mention names and we tell you why it doesn't matter.
you two are spectators.
They
and
weren't on
blind-
Star Trek. I don't know them.
That is
I would imagine there's a few people from Star Trek in this.
A few of them look like it.
so.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they look like aliens. Well, that sounds harsh in a different level.
It's kind of mean.
So, Terry O'Quinn as Jerry Blake, the stepfather. He's from Lost, John Locke. I still call him John Locke to this day, by the way.
Does an amazing job in Lost.
He does. He was in TV show Millennium, The X-Files, Hawaii Five-O, The Rocketeer.
Resident Alien.
An episode of Star Trek.
He's one of the UFO expert, like alien expert people in Resident Alien.
He also was in Stepfather 2, and he was in Stepfather 3, though not reprised by... No. I'm going to have to double check that. I think he popped
If he shows
up
in Stepfather 3, he better be himself.
I think I got to remember what's going on. There's something there. But originally a stage actor, O'Quinn brought a very chilling restraint. He is kind of scary in this. He's in a different movie. He liked this one. He hated filming the sequel, publicly stating that the director, Jeff Burr, was inexperienced and the film was a mistake.
Damn.
So, yeah. And then you didn't hear from him for a while.
It's harsh when you hear your stepfather call you a mistake.
Yeah. Bring that stepfather energy. It's like the Cat in the Hat. Sometimes I wish you weren't my stepfather. Sometimes I wish I were another. That doesn't hit as hard. Jill Sholin as Stephanie Main. This lady is from Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves. Brett and I remember that one. I think, Matt, do you remember that movie?
I've seen it. It's been a long time.
We used to have the tapes, right? The tapes.
We used to watch that one like crazy, which I'm not really sure why.
It had Drew Barrymore.
Just do.
And it was in her coke phase, so she was 12 years old, And Keanu Reeves.
Sounds like she could use a stepfather. To kill her, I guess. I don't actually know. Not this guy. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not.
What are you trying to say here? Like, do you think she could have used a better parental figure?
Yeah, her dad was the one who got her into coke, I think.
Yeah. That's just a wild thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my 10-year-old's addicted to coke. How did that happen?
Medicine?
Happened.
Okay.
I gave it to her and she just got addicted. That's fucked up, right?
Where does she keep getting it? Why buy it for her?
Well, I
get addicted.
Friends of the family.
And I have to get it anyways. So, it's on my way to work.
Yeah. Why all the questions? We're the police, sir.
My God.
Question still stands.
Oh, I thought you were acting as a cop. Shit. But which always reminds me of Nico and her son. Like she had with Alan Delane. Yeah, Nico, the Royal Tenenbaums from These Days.
Yeah.
Her Alan DeLeon, that's it. Les Samurai main star. She had a kid with him, and yeah, I think she just took the kid on tour, and he was like addicted to heroin, and she was the worst thing in the world for him. But yeah,
I mean, heroin's a tough kick for a kid.
How do you
explain that at school?
This is not problems that kids should have to worry about.
They
really do need a stepfather.
Do you think like that kid had hey, I'm sorry that I threw a tantrum at your birthday party. I had some heroin with Charles. You understand, right? I didn't mean to attack Chuck E. Cheese like that.
Sorry.
I respect the mouse and what it stands for.
I didn't mean to pass out.
The mouse. I respect the position and everything he's done.
I know he's animatronic, but he means a lot more than that to a lot of people.
Can you tell the Hamburglar I'm sorry for shitting my pants?
I still stand by Grimace is a little touchy, but...
Mom, that wasn't the Hamburglar. That was my principal.
Shit.
Well, some things are fever dreams, son.
You know what's depressing is now whenever I think of McDonald's characters in an actual McDonald's restaurant, I don't think of Matt, no. I think of Mac and Me. And
the fact that McDonald's paid for that.
Yeah,
I love that McDonald's paid for that. They're like, so you have a movie, put a kid in a wheelchair, just for whatever reason. Aliens. Yeah, we'll be in that. That sounds right up our alley.
Sure.
That's kind of who we market to.
Yeah. Can we get the alien to dance at the McDonald's just to show he's enjoying it?
You're sure
Yeah, you can't
fucking
have
right
one
we
thing,
can.
Be like dressing a teddy bear.
Well, that's a step too far. I actually equate it to Mac and Me too, because I'm like, shit, I eat McDonald's, I got to shit. You know, I taught my
That's
body.
harsh. How
Well,
dare you? Mac and Me is a classic.
Every
It
one
is
of
in
us.
its own weird way.
Yeah, but Mac looks like a little rolled up turd, doesn't he?
He does.
In my head, right
E.T.
there,
didn't look so great either.
It's like
I don't like
sentient
E.T..
beef jerky.
I like Mac and Me more than E.T., but
I
what
do
was
too.
sad as I was saying, Mac looks like a piece of shit. In my head, I was like, is Mac the kid in the wheelchair? See the alien? I couldn't.
I actually have no idea. I just call them both Mac.
Mac and Mac. The Mac
and
attack.
It's like a cop. It's like a cop show from the 70s. We got to figure out the stepfather that's killing everyone. We should probably look
Oh
at
my
people that have
God,
been
I'd
married
watch
around here.
that.
Fuck that.
Wait.
Detective Mac attack.
What if we're wrong and the alien's name's not even Mac? It's just McDonald's, Big Mac.
Oh my
And
God.
I
I
don't-
did not connect the dots of Mac and McDonald's until just now.
Big Mac.
Thank you,
How they
Matt.
get you?
I feel like I
How
just
they get you?
whatever.
Big Mac and Mac. Big Mac and Me.
Big Mac.
That's
is-
what they should have called.
and
They
we'll
should have
say
just
Mac.
said, fuck it. We're going with this all the way. Big Mac and Me.
Big Mac and Me. That sounds like a porno. Shut up, Drew. Take your heroin and
No, mommy.
we'll get the guy who filmed Munchie to do it. He knows.
You know,
his
like
film.
today, parents are like, oh God, my kid's being crazy. Just give him the iPad. He'll calm down. Drew Barrymore's parents is like, she's kind of throwing a bitch fit again. Give her some cocaine.
No.
and
But-
we'll-
Cocaine's an upward. That's the wrong
That was-
one.
No, they should have given her the downer. That's when you give her, and they probably did. They were like, "We'll give her one of we'll give her a Valium." She gets kind of
Just
fucking
grab
handsy
2 pills from the cabinet. Grab any 2 pills.
on the right
and
side,
give it to her.
because on the left side are the uppers.
yeah.
We want to put this elephant down. If this was the movie Tremor, we want the elephant gun.
But
If
then
we're
right
going on the
before
way
an
for
audition, she gets a little too low, and they're like, shit, give her the cocaine. Give her the cocaine.
Because this
But-
is dark.
So preemptively, she starts expecting that, and she's like, "Just gotta act down, Drew, and you can get
Yeah.
an up."
Kids were smart.
Every time before an audition,
I want my iPad. I want my 8-ball. It's just a 10-minute car ride. I don't care. I can see why the stepfather imposes strict rules. I get
yeah. I love the idea of at Thanksgiving, I'm just going on a long diatribe against parents like Drew Barrymore's parents. You know, I read in the news there's a little 8-year-old addicted to cocaine.
I think you're approaching it wrong. The girl is like, she complains about something. He's like, well, instead of like kids in Africa are starving, he's like, kids in the Barrymore house haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah. And you could
That
see
what
him
you
saying
want?
something in a weird, like, creepy way, like, well, kids in the Barrymore house get their first taste of cocaine before they have their first period. And it's
That
like,
what you
Jesus
want?
Christ, you're creepy.
What, Dad? Or no, not Dad.
No,
What?
Dad.
What, Jerry?
Jerry?
What the fuck
That's
did you just
Step Jerry.
say? Well, just read it in the news. Yeah, I know you read the first part in the news. Did you read the second part, Jerry?
Why'd
I
you
just
dick
know
out?
these things. I sell houses. That's why.
No, that's where he'd fuck up like he does later on with the lines. Instead of I sell houses, he'd be like, I kill people in houses.
Am I?
Kill people. Oh, shit. No, I sell houses. Did you just say you kill people in houses? You're a
It's a slip of
realtor,
a
sir.
tongue. Can a man not say things? Why are you holding a knife? Can a man not hold a knife? Why saying things about killing people?
Why are your pants down again?
Oh my, here we go. Because I have
So-
a knife.
In the
Not to do
Barrymore
this.
house. Pants
But
down.
we are on number 2. Cast member number 2.
Oh yeah,
right now.
But no one else matters. That's what we agreed on.
What are you talking about? We got plenty of good people.
Shelley Hack, because she's a hack, is the mom.
Nice.
You know, she's Susan.
Unfortunate.
She was on King of Comedy with De Niro, one of the original Charlie's Angels. Her acting shows that. Had a modest TV career, became a model and actress in the late 70s.
I don't know.
She
is a model that tries to act. That's what she is.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I want you all to know. She came on season 4 of Charlie's Angels, right? She was replaced after one season and blamed for low ratings.
Damn,
Now,
that's harsh.
Maybe unfairly, but she didn't do good. And on
I could
Charlie's
see it,
Angels. We also have Charles Lanier as Dr. Bondurant.
The world's most ridiculous, and he's creepy in the same way Stepfather is creepy. That's one of those real recognizes real, like the guy's like, I know what the fuck you're doing, and Stepfather's like, I know what you're doing.
Shit.
Shit. You think yeah,
One of them was gonna kill that girl.
I just need to get the stepfather away so I can kill her.
So he's the psychiatrist, and he's the stepfather.
he
And
got
didn't you say in the
Dexter?
second movie he becomes a psychiatrist?
well, and that
He learned
remember
from Dr. Bondurant.
I was saying it earlier. The psychiatrist tries to stepfather the stepfather, and he gets outgamed real quick, real fucking quick.
Because he just wasn't used to throwing hands.
Because
Like
he's not
he
used
was
to
not
Jerry's
prepared
skill
for
level.
the end game. Yeah, I mean,
he's
he
more
was
of the
all talk.
poison and kill,
Well,
not the
that-
fight and kill.
He's more the Muffin Man type. Jerry, that's the
More
thing.
of a 2x4 to the head type guy.
The
He's
psychiatrist,
whatever it takes to get the job done type.
Yeah.
the
Nervous, heavy
psychiatrist
around
came
me.
in with the sneak attack. He had the advantage here, but Jerry still
Blew
fucked
it.
him up.
He had a 3-1 lead and just blew it.
I love the idea of them like going for back and forth, giving each other like little one-liners of like how to be a better stepdad or a psychiatrist, and he's
It's just a more.
Ah,
well,
you're
Jerry,
right. Traditional.
were you not close to your dad? Jerry's like, what the fuck? Who is this guy?
Who talks like that?
Well, a dad is good, but a stepfather's better. Like what?
I think Jerry might have it backwards.
I mean, I want to be like, I'm sure there's a situation where maybe that's true, Jerry, but why would you rather jump to that? Like, well, just to get the father
Why
out
are
of
we
the
taking
picture so we
off
can
the wall
introduce the
situations?
stepfather.
Anyone can be a dad. Takes a man to be a stepfather.
God.
Takes a true killer.
Can I just say, when we
Here it
started
comes.
this, I did say he's not the stepfather, he's the father who stepped up. Any motherfucker that wears those kind of shirts, all they're saying is, look at me. I hate that shit.
I might get one just to annoy you. I'm not even a stepfather.
Oh,
Are you
I
a
mean,
stepfather?
it
No,
is on
the
this-
shirt just makes me feel.
it's on the
Good.
same level of I'm with stupid or, whatever. Like any
Whoa,
shirt,
This is
No.
worse. This is
Any
worse.
You're
shirt-
attacking American culture with that. This is.
I think I am, and I think that's correct. Anybody
I
who
don't think I
wears
want
a
to do
shirt
this podcast anymore.
identify themselves
Is
is like identify themselves or someone else. That's a problem to me.
Agreed. But
Be like someone
the
wearing a shirt saying,
stepfather
I am a
shirt,
doctor.
the stepfather shirt says, look at me, praise me for what I'm doing. In a way that I'm with stupid. It just doesn't.
I will give you
I
that.
agree.
I mean, they're a seesaw of stupidity, all right? On both sides, I'm like, well, that's stupid. Damn you for making me look at your shirt. I don't know. You can have a fun shirt. I just hate a shirt that loudly says what I am or what's going on around me.
I hate a shirt that says that. I hate on Veterans Day when all my friends post pictures of themselves in uniform, and I'm like, you
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Wait,
one.
they do that?
thank me for my service.
Do you
yes.
think they take the picture the day of, or do they
No.
usually take
Man,
it like a week
not-
before and just like hold it?
No, it's just sitting there. They reuse the same one every
Okay.
year.
You
I
don't
thought
look
you were
like that
saying they
anymore.
went to a
Yeah.
photographer and they get headshots.
Oh my god, that
No.
would be amazing.
I
Why are
know.
you taking these photos?
my
Veterans
God.
Day in 2 weeks.
That's when I have my sale. The Veterans Day sale.
You know what they do though? Not a lot of them. Some of them that I know, because these stores and restaurants run like discounts or buy this and get this free, like this food. like a lot of friends will have like 25 different food items from restaurants just sitting in the back of their car because they went to IHOP, they went to like Ochart, they went to all these different places just getting free food. I'm like, what the fuck that's not the point of this.
That's the most American thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
It is.
Praise be.
And every year Brittany's like, do you want to go out to eat or anything? I'm like, God, no.
No, please.
So someone can thank me for my service, I'll pass.
Hey, thank you, bud.
I
Actually,
used to-
you just reminded me of one of my favorite stories.
Okay.
At the local pharmacy, there was an older guy in front of me who
Oh,
had
wait
a
one second,
World War II
Matt.
hat on.
Introducing Matt Select Stories. Because
Matt
these are
Select
some of the-
Stories.
these are some
Radio.
top-level bullshit.
Guy had a World War II hat on. He's like an older guy. He's at the front of the pharmacy. He takes his stuff, turns around to leave. The guy behind me goes, "Hey, thank you for your service." The guy goes, "I didn't serve. It's just World War II."
Oh, so this
Well,
is just,
but I always like, where'd you get the hat? Why do you have the hat?
That-
What does that
I like to
actually
think the
mean?
guy was like, "Sir, this is just Nazi memorabilia."
I'm just a World War II buff, just all about it.
I love the Nazis.
But to be fair, it
guy
made
number
perfect
2 makes sense to me.
But the guy could not have been old enough to serve in World War II. Those people are like 90 to 100 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was probably like 60. So it just, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
Matt didn't have it up. I used to
Kill
well,
a 4-year-old. I
I
mean, I guess
wasn't-
he gives those 10-year-olds cocaine. They could have served.
I mean, didn't the Nazis do that? Here's some
Yes.
Matt.
And Soviets.
Yeah, yeah. I used to know a lady. She drove me insane.
Intimately.
No, as is the opposite of that. It was
That's kind of how I read the situation, Joe. I used to know.
no. She was
Sounds like a
related.
stepfather
I
story.
called her stepmother.
She
Oh,
was
God.
related
That's actually
to somebody I was intimate with, and she would
Let's call her
she did that
stepmother.
shit always. People would pop up. I mean, I don't even. They'd wear like an army shirt, like a fucking T-shirt that said army, and she'd be like, "Thank you for your service," all the fucking time, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you fucking bootleg."
It's virtue signaling on top of virtue signaling at that
And
point because you're like, person's like, recognize me, and then the other person's like, I'll recognize him. Now I'm going to get recognized for recognizing
Do it
him.
publicly right
Mhm.
now. Let's lock eyes and recognize.
She was the biggest narcissist I have ever met in my life. Too, like,
Typically.
it was the weirdest thing. Like, if the conversation wasn't about her, she would redirect it. She would shoot herself in the foot just to get the attention back on her. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you don't care. So, yeah, that's anytime I think of people who say thank you for my service, that's all I think of now. I'm like, you all fucking suck. I'm projecting my hate at this point.
See, this is how the stepfather guy started.
I
Started
want to go back
family,
though.
People ruined it. Projected hate.
20 fucking food products in the back of the car.
I'm telling you, it's embarrassing.
That's American as
What do
fuck.
they do with it?
And it's awful.
They just stick it in the fridge and reheat it in the air fryer throughout the week.
They didn't give it to.
This
See,
thing's good, like what, 3 days for a restaurant?
I'm thinking like give it to a homeless person, and they're like, nah.
Why?
I
They
also,
didn't serve.
I,
Oh, actually,
or they might have.
They might have.
We watched Hard Target. We hunt those people down.
We watched Cage. Yeah,
That's
he was
true.
close to homeless.
No,
Not-
no, he would have been if not for the.
Is it Billy? No, Billy's.
You think anyone went up to Lou Ferrigno's character and said, "Thank you for your service"?
No.
Hey, thanks for taking up.
They're
your
like,
brain.
they're like, oh,
You
do
can't
not.
math now.
Hey, Scott, do not talk to him about that. Like,
Don't fucking
don't mention the
Don't
fact that he
fucking
served.
mention
It triggers something. Why does it trigger something? He got shot in the fucking skull. Of course, it
There's still
triggers
a hole
something.
there. They didn't even stitch it up. There's still a hole right there. You can see it.
Actually, the only thing that ever triggered shit in Billy's head is when you punched him in the spot. So,
Hold on. It was when specifically an Asian person punched him in that spot.
In front of a bunch of other Asian people.
Yeah, it
There's-
took a lot.
there's a
But
question
we
there.
found
though.
his trigger.
Do you think anybody else was punching him there?
Yeah, 100%.
I
Man,
think
you
every
just
night
sound like your
Scott would
mom.
just say, "Stick that."
Come on, I'm gonna fix you, Billy. Come on,
I
Billy.
had to try.
You try every night. It's
Think
wrestling.
thoughts. Ow, ow.
It's wrestling.
And then Scott writes that down like he's starting to remember, though.
You
I
think it
hit
was
him.
more like a science project? Like
Yeah.
he had a
The day he
Yeah.
ordered for
and he was like,
himself.
Yeah.
shots to the brain kind of scramble something up there.
For the past 12 days, he's mentioned the day prior of me hitting him.
And then it turns into like a
He used to
Civil
never
War
mention me hitting him.
letter. Dear Martha, today I punched
Dearest
him in the
Martha.
head. Yeah, dearest Martha, today is
The 14th
Billy
of
hit-
June is the
got
13th
4
of June.
scores
I
in the
smashed his
head.
Black
I'm
Rock was
afraid
taken
one
over.
of two things will happen. Either I will grow weary and tired of this journey,
The
or I will
monster
kill
will-
the poor idiot.
God help me choose the correct.
It turns
I
into
pray-
Victor Frankenstein.
I pray that an outlet opens up, one such as a cage where he can fight other Asian people.
Pray
This will
for
be
me,
for his own
Martha.
good and theirs.
Dearest Martha, you would not believe it.
I
And
am,
now
a
own
sweet
an
new
oyster
gig.
bar.
I am elated.
I
Billy
met
is a
from
man
China
again.
named Tiger
Oh.
Joe.
Oh. Also,
That's not a
Martha,
good thing.
please send another painting of your bosom.
Oh, no. Martha, this is me letting you know I have found a reporter lady that I met. You know, I did not mention her to you earlier.
God, don't force the part. I feel so stupid.
In a dungeon area of a hangout?
Yes, a dungeon. They still make those. I was also surprised.
Also, Martha, I'm into dungeons now.
Not dragons.
If
Just
you're wondering how I knew she was a reporter, it was the first thing she said to me.
No longer will I seek out your dank, dark dungeon, Martha.
You
Wait,
know I
Martha died in
respect
that
honesty and upfrontness. Unlike you who refused to tell me after 3 weeks of dating that you had HIV.
Jesus Christ.
Ah, there's a 80s joke.
Yes, see? We got there.
Reagan.
We're back.
Are we done with the
Stepfather.
cast, by the way? Can we
Yeah,
be done
everyone
with the
that
I was
cast?
going to do the director, Joseph Rubin. He
let's talk
later
about
directed
him.
Sleeping with the Enemy, and here's the one, Brad O'No, The Good Son.
Oh,
With
yeah. Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay McCoken.
I think that's how I said it as a kid.
Macaulay McCoken, too. I don't know. Macaulay McCoken. The Stepfather was a sleeper
Elijah
hit.
Wood.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I know
correct.
good son.
Macaulay Culkin was a better child actor than Elijah Wood
Did
was.
you just
so.
do it again or almost?
No, I stopped myself. It was close.
Okay.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
That's how I pronounce it.
they look similar.
Exactly alike. We're not at this age.
Can we agree, though, Macaulay Culkin was an amazing child actor?
He
He also married Brenda Song. Good for him.
What?
I think his brother's a
song?
very
She was
I think
a
his brother won an
Disney-
Oscar.
Wow.
Did he?
Yeah, for the Jesse Eisenberg movie.
Oh yeah.
That's actually supposed to be really good. I've actually got it queued up to watch at some point.
Wait, Macaulay
Oh.
Culkin married Brenda Song?
Who is
I'm
that?
pretty sure.
Who is that?
She was a
Is this
like
Johnny
star for,
Tsunami?
like-
Yeah, it's
She's a
kind
big
of.
Disney
It's
star.
the sweet life of Zach and Cody, I think.
She did a bunch of Disney stuff. She
She's
was
like
one
the
of the
Asian
bigger
girl
stars,
from that
but-
show.
Yeah, but she never
don't
like
Think of it as
branched out
the
after
Asian
Disney.
girl. There's
Well, you
Asian-
should. She was the only one on Disney. at that
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
For a
so
while.
it's
They
had
Disney's
her-
racism that's informed.
Yes,
you
they
two.
had
Okay.
one Latina and Selena.
Jennifer
One blonde,
Lopez.
one brunette. They pretty much just had it. They have like a checkbox that they have to do for each generation.
The Rainbow Cast, but only one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
they
the
can't have
college,
multiple.
the college brochure. Where we're like, we have diversity. Look at our Hispanic guy and the
And
two.
They've
Women.
taken a scene out of Saved by the Bell, the college years, and just posted it in their university pamphlet. Is that Zach?
So that's the director.
Yeah, Donald Westlake was the writer, famed crime novelist known for his Parker novels. It is based on. Matt's going to go into this in a second here. The original cut was
like,
more psychological, but the
Fuck
studio
I am.
interfered in it. Yep.
See, that would have worked on a much better level because
It
you can see that Terry O'Quinn didn't change from that.
It was rated X originally.
A lot of man penis.
So that where the nudity? They just
Probably
left enough
nudity.
in.
He probably sliced people up on
We
there.
couldn't keep more cuttings, and we had to get a penis and a supposed 16-year-old ass and breast. That's what we kept. Actually, I get it. That sells. Cutting people up usually doesn't have. I mean, there's a balance there, right? There's a balance.
Yeah, I'm glad this movie didn't go over the top with it because it would have been hard to watch, but it would have been something.
What, over the top with the nudity?
Like the slashing and killing
Okay,
and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
The
nudity was completely unnecessary. I don't.
It was.
You just don't have artistic vision. It's supposed to represent him
That-
exposing himself for who he really is.
The penis represented
The symbol of
softer
man's
side.
strength.
Yeah.
his softer
It
side.
was actually.
His feminine approach. Downstairs, he became hard, much like the scene.
Yeah.
The
Brandon
fuck
gets it.
are we talking about? Speaking
don't
of
see you doing
people
enough
that were
cocaine before
on
this,
this
Brett.
movie that
Art.
showed their dick the whole movie, the guy in charge of the sound.
Yeah.
May he never get to do another role again.
God,
Dick
part of me hopes
Dickinson?
he's someone that's like really famous.
Is that his
Talking
name?
about Dick Dickinson?
No, it's
I know it is because showing his dick. I just wanted to.
Oh, well, I
I don't know who did it. He
I
sucked.
know it's a good name, right? Dick Dickinson.
Mhm. I'm Dick Dickinson.
Give me that old dick, not that new dick.
Like, I'm curious who did do the sound on this. Part of me wants to know. Part of me thinks it's just like lost to time.
A loser.
Damn, just attacking him.
It was just a Casio keyboard. They just hit like you know the sound templates they don't have on there. You just press the one and it's like Mary had a little lamb. That's what they.
It was weird because it would do some of that, but then it would feel like a Stephen King made for TV movie. Then it would just feel like a Hallmark made for TV. And then there were moments where it actually was decent, and that was like once every like 15 scenes.
Might be the studio interference. They might have said, we need to tone it down here or change the tone. And I'm like, you can't do that. You need to it's got to be a cohesive piece. You know what I mean?
Well, and
It's
Yeah,
just
almost
it
the
a
sound
whole
effects in
full
general.
movement.
That's actually, I think it's the worst part of this movie is the music. It throws, the whole tone shifts like every single scene because the music just has no idea
actually-
what the hell they're doing.
I'm glad you mentioned that because really early in this film, like in the first 10 minutes, it does a really suspenseful like score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like that dun dun dun, and it just shows him in a suit. And I'm like, oh no, a businessman.
Oh,
like there's
shit,
nothing
he's got to
good.
go to work.
Oh god, he's probably late. His briefs aren't in order. Yeah, I think that's the only time
He
it
was
does
a-
that dramatic score.
He wasn't wearing briefs. We already seen that.
God,
Yeah. It's
He's
one of
ruining it,
those.
we can't make movies that show dicks anymore. So just go ahead and clean your recommendation list.
Dickinson.
Go through mine.
Okay, so budget was 1.9 million. It made approximately 2.5 million, but it became a cult classic. Matt, did you want to touch on that? It was based on a true story.
Based on some other dude who did the same crap.
That's it.
It wasn't that
That
interesting.
was a letdown.
The only serial
Jesus.
killers I
You know
think are
what,
cool is the
Matt?
ones that do magic stuff.
You're kind of
Like,
screwing us
I've
here.
become desensitized to normal serial killers.
My-
I like the ones that do magic and try to summon demons. That's it.
Cock magic.
Because at least they're trying to do something. God, that's a fantastic episode.
The biggest market in podcasting is like your true crime stuff. We had a chance
Yeah,
to
for
get
cool.
into that market, Matt, and you said, it's just
Okay,
a story about this.
It was the dude who got mad. He killed his wife and kids, left, tried to do it again.
You have names?
So, hey guys,
His name was John List, which is the most generic name I've ever heard
that's
in
like
my life.
Franz Liszt, the pianist. A pianist.
Oh my god, I just saw a picture of him. He's a fucking weird looking dude.
Mhm.
I'd love it if we cut to Brett's screen and it was just a picture of me with a beard.
Wait a minute.
No, I mean,
Fuck you.
but see, even in the story of this guy, it talks about being so meticulous about planning the murders and stuff. And if we got something like that, it'd be a lot better than what we saw. Where he's like, oh, shit, I'm caught.
Yeah, like a build up towards it.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Would you all sell yourself? Well, not sell yourselves. Knowing what it would take to do a true crime podcast and the path you have to take for that, would
No.
you all willingly do it for the audience?
No.
Matt?
No, I think they're incredibly boring. I've honestly not been intrigued by true crime stuff for like almost 10 years at this point.
The only thing I've ever cared about is, it's not even true crime. I always just like random crazy stories, but here's it. I like tidbits of give me 2 minutes of an explanation and then shut the fuck up because I don't care.
I think there's something kind of wrong with making money off of other people's issues and stuff.
Acting like you're solving the crime and shit like this, or
Oh
handling
God,
it.
those one get me.
Or
And you know
not solving
the
it,
police overlooked. Why are you telling us?
not even solving it, but like telling the story to your friend who listens to it, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that happened." It's like, you assholes. She knows. She read the same stuff you did. Like, her reacting to it in the moment is fake. Like, you're just.
That's crazy.
Are you?
I also hate the few like documentaries I've watched is that they'll have like the most obvious slanter bias.
Yep.
And they're like, we're just trying to report on it. And it's like, yeah, but you're not,
Well,
right? Like,
they'll do two stories and like, it could be this, but it's how they highlight one to make it sound like the more plausible of the two. And I'm like, but the other one you just kind of did a throwaway on that one. Like, there's a whole presentation. Like, a normal person's going to hear that and they're going to be like, well, it was definitely one. I mean,
well, it's definitely a PowerPoint.
even Making a Murderer, everyone freaked out when that came out, and I'm like, I think he did it, and I think this whole documentary tries to make it seem like he didn't.
And that's even worse. That they're accomplices to this point. You know, they're like, how can we get this guy off so we can make a little money?
Like, they show you these little things. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they had that. They had the vial of his blood. It's like, yeah, that's actually pretty normal.
I actually
that's
hate
a
true
Netflix
crime.
one.
I wish it would all fuck off.
Oh, yeah. I also watched that one with people and talked about it at work, and it was frustrating me so bad. Like, it just like...
The way you described the social setting, I watched that and talked about it with people. We conversed at the water cooler.
No, it was one of those, like, can you believe like that they set him up for it? And it's like, did they?
Yeah.
Something just asked him a question, and then he answered it, and then you guys are saying that, I don't know.
I had somebody who would always tell me, like, they'd bring up the like the Jeffrey Dahmer fans or the Ted Bundy fans, and then they'd be like, I can't believe them, and they'd keep saying it. I'm like, the way you talk about it, I don't know if you're trying to like gauge my interest in turning into like.
Can you believe that people write serial killers in prison? Like, how do you even get their address?
Like, you find it for me? This is the third time this week you've asked me for. Ted Bundy's dead.
How do you get a marriage certificate with them? How do you think you do that?
But those are the weirdest people too, though. When I think I've said it before. It's like, you know, it's like, hey, Jeffrey Dahmer, eat me, you know, and you're like, what the hell, lady, you fucking weirdo.
Thank you for
People
your service,
Well,
Jeffrey
they say
Dahmer.
he didn't really do it. I don't think he did. I'm like, Jeffrey Dahmer admitted to fucking eating people. They've found bones there. There's no questions really here to find out, you idiot.
It was circumstantial evidence. Yeah, but the circumstance, of course, being human bones in a freezer. I don't...
He had a human finger in his mouth.
Who amongst us hasn't?
Like
Let he without sin cast the first stone, Brandon.
Who amongst us shark? You know. But yeah,
what, he had a person cooking on the pot.
Yeah, if I went to jail every time I pretended to be a cop and picked up girls on campus, you know, I'd never be out.
They just tell weird stories about him to paint him in a negative light. It's like, okay, but you think the stories are true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're just telling you them to paint him negative.
Half of the time you talk to me about these stories, you're really excited with all these finer details about, like, they found this and this. And like, but do you think he did it? The fuck is that? You can't paint it like that. And then what's wrong with you?
It's like, there are a lot of things I think I know he did it. Let's move back.
You know, who hasn't had a barrel of people and what is it? Acid, I think he had in his fucking living room.
Are we talking about Dahmer again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They kind of all blend together.
Yeah, but they made that movie about him, and that guy was cool, so I kind of like him now.
I have sex with him. Oh my God, what's wrong with us?
If he promised not to eat me,
Netflix had a show I can't remember the name of it, and it's not worth looking up, but it was based on a real story. These people moved in a house, and there was like someone
The
living
Watcher.
in the walls or something.
Stepfather.
The Watcher.
Fuck, they might both be right.
It's got.
It's The
I think it
Watcher.
has Naomi Watts in it.
And yes. And they
It's The
try to
Watcher.
paint it.
I
as,
know
like,
this.
We figured it out. And like they're like hammering with you who it was, blah, blah, blah. It ends and they're like, by the way, this was never solved. No one has anyone.
That
any idea
is
who did
all right.
this.
Thank you, Matt. Before we get into the Stepfather, let's touch on this.
Do we
'cause
have
I've waited
are we gonna grill
years.
The Watcher? Because this show sucked.
I've waited years to talk about this thing, and I never thought I'd get the moment. That was the dumbest movie, but it was also one of those fucking true crime things that the true crime people heightened up and made a big deal. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking to me about for this? Because it's so fucking stupid, and it just kind of hinges on the fact that this family was getting letters. And then they're like, do you think they were doing it to get out of the loan because they couldn't afford the house? Or was somebody tracking them? I think somebody before. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Nothing happened. This story is boring.
Nothing happened, and then at the end, they make something happen, and then they have to show what actually happened was nothing happened.
And yeah, in that show, like, there's a moment in there where it kind of like splits and says, this could happen or this will happen, but it didn't happen. And you're like, what?
Just so we're clear, all the
Did I
cool
get
stuff
robbed?
we're presenting to you is fake.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
actually
rowdy.
a story about letters.
Yeah, this actually
Mom
the whole
sitting
thing,
on
the
the porch
Hanan
smoking
story.
cigarettes in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, then why did we do this? All right.
Good.
Thank
I'm
you for
glad
bringing
someone
it
else
up.
watched that piece of crap.
It is one
I
of the
watched it.
worst things, and I had to hear about that thing for fucking years, and it's stupid as hell. It was like the time in Billy Madison where it's like, no, that's wrong, and we're all dumber for listening to it.
Bad.
I never watched it because you know how like you scroll on Netflix and something pops up and it shows you like a scene of the movie or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That's all it takes usually for me, and I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Usually, all it takes is knowing that Netflix was involved in producing something.
I was held
I'm like,
against
I'm
my
out.
will.
That's it, Matt. Thank you. I already knew it was stupid, but
Oh, yeah.
I was coerced into it.
Young and naive.
It was a year ago.
Naive.
Yeah.
On a
Yeah, it
dark
was-
and stormy night, just like tonight.
Best way to open any novel.
All right.
Oh, that's kind of how this movie opens, except it's not dark. It's not stormy.
Or stormy, actually.
No,
for
it's
this
It's
Friday
particular
night.
day.
actually morning time, nighttime, morning time.
Penis time.
Most of this film is shot during the day, which I think is an interesting choice.
I actually like that.
I like it.
No, I do too. I actually like when horror slasher films do that. But this
Like-
film has zero horror slasher tension.
No, but it has potential for it.
I don't hate this film. I know we've not really gotten into it. I don't hate this film. But the entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, man, this actually could have been a banger. This could have been.
have. The
It's
guy's creepy as shit. The
He's
performance from Terry O'Quinn is amazing.
But he has nothing to do. They're like, all right, Terry, in this scene, it's like, okay, in this scene, am I really going to show how I'm crazy? No, you're just going to say, I love you, daughter, and life is rough, and have a little outburst. And that's all. Okay, we're building up for the next scene. No, Terry. No, none of that.
No, there's no build up.
this
Just
one
you
is
get caught and you
Which,
have to kill
no
someone.
build up could still work, too. I'm just putting it out there, but
that's a different.
I don't know.
That's yeah. Yeah, I guess no build up can work. I don't know if you tell a writer like I want no,
No
build up,
build-up
just make
works.
it happen, and you're like,
No
sure?
build-up works if you have, like, the daughter investigating and finding out things that happen. And, like, on one half, it's like,
Tidbits
the
come
family
out.
is perfect. And she's discovering the messed up parts while the family's staying perfect. I think you can make that work.
Isn't
But
that
that's
build
still
up?
a build up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's just not a build up from
it's
him.
just trickle.
that's what I
effect,
mean.
right?
Because at the end of the day, this film, he's kind of the driving force. Yeah, I guess she is too, but I don't know.
but
the
yeah,
see-
he's a much better driving force.
He is.
Yeah.
Her scenes are a struggle.
Well, most of the time,
'Cause she's
like,
just
he's
an angry
weird. I don't
teen.
trust him. And it's like, why? Well, I mean, he says he loves me and takes care of me and got me back in school.
Do you know
Fuck
he,
him.
he gave me a dog that was already neutered? Yeah, Bob Barker told
That's
him
weird.
to do that.
You listen to Bob Barker?
I don't-
Well, after that, I mean,
Did Brandon
covered
just
the beginning.
malfunction? Like he said, I
these
don't,
things happen.
and then just froze.
But he finds a new family, right? After killing his original family. I think that's kind of the whole plot of this film.
Yep,
He has a new
he's
family. We're like a year.
Jesus, you just
feels like-
combing right through it.
how many times has he
That's
done
the
this?
second seed.
Yeah.
How many times has he done this? Is my question. 'Cause
3?
See, that's what I'm more interested in too. Just like his psychology and how he does it. Not this, oh crap, I was caught, gotta kill this woman now. Like, that sucks.
that is the second one. Like I told you, they kind of, and not only does he take on, he becomes the psychiatrist who was trying to become the stepfather in this one, but they replace it instead of the psychiatrist talking to the daughter to find out more. It's talking to him to get an understanding of it, and it I mean, of course, it's dumb as hell, but I love it. But yeah,
Some exposition would help sometimes instead of the reporter and the brother being the guys that give us the exposition. That sucks.
Matt nailed it. If we followed the stepfather more, I think it would be a better choice. Like if it was the trail was on him, and we see and maybe it's that it is the daughter sucks. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking of it, if they're going to play it through the daughter's eyes, Matt's view might be right, where we get less of the stepfather and we only get tidbits, little hints. But I don't know. The movie would almost be better if we just get the stepfather and he was just batshit crazy and fun, because he is the best part.
Yeah, well, imagine a world where we don't actually know that this guy did this.
And he's just delivering
Until the end.
Oh, like
he was trying to
like a
rape
paranoid.
her. And you're like, whoa, that's weird.
Well, no, like just say like this girl's got this new stepfather. She doesn't really trust him, but it just seems like a kid acting out. And like he does these little things throughout, but mainly he just seems like a overprotective dad. And then at the end, it's like,
That's what
holy
I mean,
shit,
though.
this is who. Yeah,
It's
That would
balanced
be a
throughout.
fun-
And then we get that moment, like when he hops on the porch and
He
he's
is
like,
a
he was
murderer.
trying to rape her. And you're like, whoa, this is a little batshit. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I actually
little
kind of
thing.
think that might have been what they were going for here. It's just maybe
This-
didn't trust her to pull that much.
this, or studio interference said we want it through her eye. I'm not sure,
Yeah, well, I mean,
movie's
fortunately,
made
none of
now.
that happens. Yeah, it's out there. It's been
It's
out
a
there a
cult
while. It
classic
is
now.
what it is. I can kind of see how this is a cult classic.
Because it's.
I don't agree with it,
Ooh,
but
I do.
can see.
It's a Lifetime movie turned on its head mixed with Jason.
Is it a
I do
Lifetime
get the
movie turned on
Jason
its
part
head?
at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a Lifetime movie. All men
Shot
are
like
evil
5
and trying to kill
times.
you.
This is
But,
So
I
he
mean,
was
yes.
kind of a good dad, though,
Okay, so yeah, let's get to the second scene. We're introduced to the
until
new family.
he got protective.
We're introduced to the new family, and the very first thing, they're like fighting with sleeves, I think. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And she says, "Oh, don't get me back." And she says, "Oh, my fingers were crossed," which right away shows these are lying, horrible people.
You
So this
lying
is the new
bitch.
family and what we're dealing with. Yep.
It was at that point the seeds of distrust were sown for Matt. And he
Matt.
said, "Well, I know I'm not rooting for her."
Matt
Yep.
picked the
I
enemy.
think
Fucking
Stepfather
liar.
might be right.
Matt paused the movie and said, "I'm out. I'm not watching this."
No,
She lied.
she lied. Stepfather's right.
That was the moment in the movie when Matt was like, "What if Custer didn't die?"
I like to
No, I like it.
presuppose.
Matt pauses it, goes back 15 seconds, says, "Carolyn, get in here and watch this shit." And then he's like, pauses again. Look, she agrees. She promises she won't do that.
fucking
You
remember
wait, watch this.
This film's called The Stepfather to subvert expectations. It's really the stepdaughter who's the problem. As the next
Lying
20 scenes of this
bitch.
film will agree with me on, actually.
And then she's like, "Matt, I'm gonna get back in there, okay?" No.
You all women
But
are
you
evil.
see it, right? You see it?
You see
That's
all
crazy.
women are evil, right?
And then Matt throws a paper at her. "Read my essay on it." "What have you been doing for the last 2 days, Matt?"
2 days, I used ChatGPT for 10 minutes. I just fed it Andrew Tate shit, and it spit this out.
Oh, God.
Why is it just
Speaking of which, Stepfather would probably follow Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Women
Why
are
is it
evil and
just a
horrible.
painting of a
He's
man
right.
punching a woman?
Actually,
it would go to
the
page
idea
2.
of this stepfather man is a lot more terrifying into like today's society with all the echo chamberiness of Twitter.
Yeah.
Can't you
to be
see
fair,
him just
though-
like the movie, him just scrolling on Twitter and just being like, "Yeah, that is Yeah, just
Stepfather
his
was
girl
right.
shit. Mm-hmm.
To be fair, though, in the 80s, you could just shave your mustache, move to the next town, and
This would
you're
be
basically invincible.
He
that's
shaved
true.
a beard. That was a hell of
I mean, you
a
seen
commitment.
Andrew Tate when he finally grew his out. He looked like a different little monster. But this would be the whole Thanos is right thing afterwards. You know, where like stepfather was right.
Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna get an OnlyFans account? Okay.
I mean, better to kill them, when they're young.
I
Let 'em
thought you
grow
were
up to be
talking
sinners.
about the stepfather's getting an OnlyFans account. Show me that penis.
Behold.
Who's daddy now?
The legendary Bush.
George
We
Bush
can't
has
keep
a
having breakfast like
OnlyFans.
this.
I gotta say, with the penis stuff, was anyone expecting that?
No.
They
it's a
showed his
great
butt,
cold
and I was like,
opening.
oh, there's your nudity for the movie. And then it's like, oh.
This is like the fourth time I've watched it, and I forget it until it pops up. I'm like, oh, he's about to pop up. His dick's coming.
Dick pic. Yep,
Do
there
you
it
think
is.
that was one of those, what are they called? Where they fake the penis. The
like a prosthetic?
prosthetic.
Body
Do you think
double?
it was a body double or prosthetic? Or do you think Terry O'Quinn's like,
I feel like
if
body doubles just kind of mean, hey, the main actor doesn't want to show his junk, so you there.
yeah, that's
Get
exactly
nude.
right.
Show the junk.
Prima nocta.
Okay,
Get in there. But I don't
Michael
want to show my
Scott.
junk either. You don't get a choice.
What? Does that mean you take my wife? No, we take your penis. What?
We take your penis. I don't want a prosthetic. I want it to be real, but also I don't want it to be mine. But also I want it to be my body. Are you saying you want us to cut off your body double's penis and put it on you?
Yes, taped.
Glad I didn't have to say it out loud.
This is why we work.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to spell these things out.
I'm just what's the actor's name that they won't let him use his penis in movies
William
because
Dafoe.
it's too big? Yeah, so I like the idea of Willem Dafoe being in this and them being like, "What the fuck is that?"
I like the theory that that's a lie, and he is just never ever going to correct it because why would he?
Why? Yeah.
That would be the
Someone with
best
that
lie
big dick
ever.
energy. Lars von Trier, though,
Dafoe.
wouldn't. That's
Default,
that's
what
up
do you
his
say of the
alley.
theory that your
No,
member
that
was
seemed
too
like a man
large
that
for
was
TV?
genuinely
no comment.
disturbed.
Man, we've all seen the gif of his dick anyways. Anytime it's posted, somebody throws that up there. I'm like, well, I got to see a dick again today. It's stepfather all over again.
Thank God that was there.
Times 10.
Yeah, because he's smiling, and William Dafoe's got that crazy smile anyways. And he's just
Oh, I just meant size-wise.
Well, I know. The thing is, Dafoe makes it scary because he's like,
He does.
Green Goblin coming at you. And I'm like,
Ooh, Defoe
how
would be good.
how'd you not defeat Peter Parker?
I like to think in another world, someone like Willem Dafoe is even bigger as an actor than he is. He's a fantastic actor.
He's one of the best.
But you don't get a lot of them.
Good.
You can't get too much of them. That's a problem. If you get too much of
you
them,
can't, because if he gives it all, you're going to be hurting.
It's a lot. Like The Lighthouse, he's a lot in that movie.
Oh, I meant
he was.
dick.
I liked him in Edgar's.
The Viking?
No,
Northman, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yeah. He's good. I don't know any movie he doesn't bring it, at least, you know?
He
Isn't
brings
that
it
like
in
an
Boondock
Antichrist film?
Saints, but that movie's stupid.
Yeah. That movie's for children.
No, it's for high
Incest.
schoolers. Yeah. But
Middle
yeah,
schoolers.
that too.
Yeah.
But not this film. This
So we
film's for
meet.
no one.
He brings a dog home to the family, right? Right
Yeah.
after they get done
And it
with
doesn't
the
have a
Leafs, and
name.
then right
It
away
needs
you
a
can
name.
tell the daughter doesn't like him.
Is that not
For
a
no
bad
reason,
gift,
he
though?
brought her a dog.
If you didn't verify with the wife and everybody before, and you just bring a dog home,
Father knows best.
Father
That's-
knows best.
I think that's kind of the biggest, not the biggest
Father
issue.
knows
The biggest issue is him slashing people
killing.
and killing them. But the
It's
second biggest issue
hypocrisy.
is him thinking as the father, it's his role to run the entire household.
the stepfather.
Yeah, well, not in
I
his
mean,
mind.
yeah, not if he's providing. I mean,
Can't have a house without children.
I love that.
Father
When he
knows
says he can't
best.
have
It's
a
like
family without children. I'm like,
Mother-
you son of a bitch, kind of technically right, but wrong.
So
You're like,
I don't
you're stepping on the rules, mister.
The modern family will tell you that the family is built on the people you want in your life.
Yeah, like a stepfather. You chose them. They stepped up.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
are you
Anyway,
wearing
so
the
before he
fucking
kills these
t-shirt?
people-
Brett is right about that damn shirt. The more I've thought
I
about
fucking hate it.
it is
so
disgusting.
much.
And
So
people are proud of that, and I'm like,
at our base, they train pilots, right? That's the big thing. So you get all these like jackasses who think they're pilots already.
I like
Or
to
what,
think
pilot
you were going to say they
stepfathers?
train stepfathers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to
Okay,
it,
hold
right?
on though. There actually might be a value to society in having that. I'm just putting that out there.
Can't we just train them to be fathers, and then if they
Just
need,
train-
No, no, this is the second line. We train them to be fathers, and then we have some that don't graduate, and we're like, all right, you're stepfather material.
get the second line of defense is coming in.
Get them, stepfathers. Find
Second bombers.
families.
Boom, boom.
Integrate. Don't stab them.
Integrate.
But you have to do it in like a somewhat passive aggressive way to make sure you integrate and still let them know that you're the man of the house.
Yeah.
You just
Stepfather.
wait. Yeah.
I stepped up over you, on you.
I'm not
If you-
divorced yet.
If you happen upon a family that already has a dad, either back up or alpha him.
Or daddy dick
Kill-
real quick.
Kill the dad.
Well, not
If there
necessarily.
is no supply,
Just
create
weaken him
supply.
in front of everyone to where he does.
You're
for
not doing a
himself.
good job taking care or providing for your family.
If I was the,
Small
if I was
things
the
like
dad
that
here,
will diminish his role real
It's
quick.
like the real dad asks his wife, like, "Listen, I'm glad you made friends with that guy at work, but why does he keep showing up to our family vacations with the 'I'm the dad that stepped up' shirt? Like, what the
Why?
fuck's that about?"
he's at our kids' baseball games. I know he doesn't have kids.
I
If
saw
I
him
was a
rubbing
dad,
your
Johnny
leg
would've
the
hit that
other
ball.
day.
He's harmless. I think he's gay.
What?
Oh, now that's
Why is he
that's
in the
film
bed with us?
operative. I'm here to ensure satisfaction.
Penetrate her now.
I don't
Oh,
believe
oh,
those are your kids.
He's
Steve.
the robot from Venture Bros. It goes, pay no attention to me. Or whatever.
Oh fuck, we're not.
Oh.
We're on scene 2.5 of this movie.
We're getting.
It's okay,
we're getting
none of
pretty
these
good
scenes
at
matter.
cutting through scenes, though.
All right.
I mean, better
I
than
like
we used to be. I
I
don't know.
think
the
the
humble
next thing is
brag
she gets
about-
we find out that she is having issues at school and everything else because I don't know, she's not used to having a stepdad or something. I
Her
don't know.
dad died.
Yeah.
Her dad died a year ago. That's
Oh
the
my
big
god,
thing.
you gotta let it go. You gotta get over
They
it.
do. They do that. And this movie, if you think about it, I'm like, her dad did die a year ago, and the
A
mom is
year
like,
ago.
I thought I wouldn't love again. I'm like, it's been a fucking year. All right, I thought I wouldn't love again. Lasted probably a month, and then you're like,
Probably a month or two. Yeah.
The dad had to have died more than a year ago.
Nope.
they say it. They say it.
Really? How long have they been together?
There was.
Do you
a
think it's possible
wedding.
she was having an affair with that guy before the dad died?
No, there's no way.
How
'Cause that
did
would
the
break
dad
up a
die?
family.
Have you asked that question?
You get daddy
See,
dick.
that's something they should have included because that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I also killed your father. No.
No.
Yeah, see? Classic.
It's like a
iconic.
reverse Darth Vader Luke, right?
Yeah.
It's a badly formed reference.
I mean, seriously though, if he died a year ago, but that guy had moved out there about a year ago, and he was already living a
it was
double
year
life.
ago because they mentioned when they rerun the newspaper, it was a year
Yeah.
ago.
He was banging her mom before she got divorced.
Oh,
There's
the
also a
dad
chance
was
that
dying
he-
of cancer for like 6 months, and he was like,
Look,
"You
Henry,
have my consent to go bang."
Or he did exactly what we were just talking about, where he just stepped up without being asked.
Oh shit!
Just showed up at
I
vacations and stuff. And
See, I think it's that, or he casts a wide net, and he just has like 4 or 5 potential, stepmoms out there
See,
at any time.
that would have been a cool storyline. A guy with like multiple lives.
I mean, kind of what this is in a way.
I mean, that are going on at the same time. This guy couldn't handle two at the same time
He can't
without
handle
breaking
one.
character.
He can't handle one.
He broke characters. Who am I? It's like, dude, you just started.
So
Like
I wanted to
carve your
touch
name
on
in your
those
arm, bro.
lines. Yeah, because I said Luke and Darth Vader. We could impose on Darth Vader some of his lines, and I think they'd be hilarious and they would match pretty well. Like, you know, when he's dealing with Luke or the Emperor, Darth Vader would be like, "Who am I here?" You know, or
I'm Anakin.
when he's dealing
best.
with his subordinate. Yes, when he's dealing with his subordinates or something. 2 lines here. Discipline. That's what's missing in this world. Turn on the Death Star. Or a family is like a house. It needs a
That's
strong
what
foundation.
Luke,
We are
join the
going
dark
to
side.
keep this family
It's
together, Luke.
It's not a
You
family
wouldn't.
without the children, Luke.
You wouldn't happen to know someone looking for a family, would you?
Leia kisses Han, and he says, "This punk was trying to rape our child."
God is trying to rape her, Chewie. I brought Chewbacca home.
He was trying to
Can we
rape her.
keep him?
I just want us to be family.
Luke's trying to fight Darth Vader, and he's like, "I don't think we need to break up a family, do we, Pumpkin?"
Hey, champ.
His little
I'm protecting the
affectionate name
family.
calling that he has
Champ,
with his
sport.
Pumpkin,
Pumpkin. Babe,
it's creepy as shit.
you're creepy. He's just trying to establish a link, and she's shutting him out. I'm just saying everything lies at her feet. All the blame lies at her feet.
Oh, just like the rape?
Yeah, I don't want to answer that. But everything else.
There's no
He
winning
does-
there.
He does deliver some great lines, though. Like when he kills the Ogilvy guy, he's like, "Next time, Jim, call before you stop by." I'm like, damn.
Damn.
That's why it's
You
a
know,
cult
he's like,
classic.
it sucks I have to kill my family now, because they would love that.
Yeah.
No one's going to be alive to remember.
I should be recording myself.
This.
Well, no, we know why that's a bad idea.
I'll write.
I'll show the next family how good I'm doing.
I'll write a
Look at this.
book. We'll call it the Stepdad. No one will ever
Stepping
suspect
out.
me.
No, it'll be called If I Did It, you know?
Oh God. I read a quote the other day that OJ said he was afraid to hang out in LA because, what if he's sitting down at dinner and he's sitting next to the actual killer?
Every day he's sitting next to the killer. He's sitting on his lap. Well, no, he's dead, but,
Yeah, he died.
I forgot about that. That's why they released the Bronco again.
Had that time.
Yeah,
perfectly.
I think although that Bronco, like some of them are awesome.
The retro-looking
non-sport
ones are not.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're super expensive though.
They
Stupid.
are
expensive.
outrageous. All cars are now.
Yep. Car business, I'll tell you.
Jerry,
God,
is that
now
you,
you're sounding like a
stepfather?
stepfather.
It's a good show right there. What movie were you talking the last episode or the last episode we did that Dad took you to see it twice in theaters?
RV with Robin Williams.
Winnebago Man. Can you do me a kindness, Matt? Tell him about it.
What, RV or Winnebago Man?
RV.
Honest to God, it's been a long time, but if I remember right, it's a pretty standard family like
Family fare?
travel movie. Yeah, I don't know if he gets fired or something, but he puts his family in the RV and he's like, "We're traveling across the nation," and then they just
He
get
does
into
it so he
hijinks.
can take a business meeting out there.
That sounds like
Yeah,
a
sure, that
hostage
sounds right.
situation.
They were supposed to go on a vacation somewhere fancy, and he shows up with the RV and we're driving across country.
Why do you know
Yellowstone.
so much about it?
Because I will never forget Grandma's reaction after it,
Oh,
so that
that's
movie is
right.
stuck with me. What the fuck was that?
It was an incredibly boring movie, which is weird to say about Robin Williams, but
Which is weird, because sometimes Grandma likes incredibly boring movies.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she
this
would have
was-
actually liked this movie, honestly.
honestly,
Ooh.
RV probably would have been a Netflix original in this day and age.
Yeah, it would.
I think it was about that tier of a movie. and it would be like in the top 10 most watched somehow. I don't believe that. by the way,
Oh,
that
it's
chart.
hilarious.
I'm positive that chart's a lie.
I'm gonna recommend a next year's we watch for Father's Day of National Treasure.
Those
I'm
movies
in.
are great.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're
Hey,
fantastic.
let's not give away family secrets. Let's wait till next year.
Holy crap. RV was made for $50 million and it made 87.5.
Hey,
There's
you know
just
what's
a lot to
amazing
that.
is that you were able to look that up, and yet I am the cast man and the budget man. I now know you have the ability to do it.
You have the
gets a
ability to
one-time
introduce
use.
the podcast, but we all have roles here.
No, you
If
have
people
a,
turn this
wait,
on
wait,
and they don't
actually,
hear me saying welcome,
You have a
they'll
role.
turn it right
I
on.
have roles.
It's anarchy.
Mine is
Yeah.
plural.
That's true. Once again, you're John Lennon. And
No.
whatever the least talented Beatle is, that's who
Ringo.
I am.
Ringo.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Shut up, Ringo.
Nobody-
I'll
No, I'm
take that
George.
from you.
Fuck you, George is my favorite, probably.
Oh, so I'm not allowed to have him because you like him? Why don't you just be Ringo,
I'm George, Paul,
and John?
Who's Ringo?
And George and their producer Martin. You two.
I'm
Matt's
Yoko Ono.
Yoko, and I'm
Yep, I knew it was coming.
I'm the guy
I
that
could
shoots
tell.
John.
Brett gave me mean looks. I'm like, he's gonna say I'm Yoko.
Fuck yeah. Let's
I'm the guy walking around with the Catcher in the Rye book.
I didn't understand this. Pow, pow.
I'm confused.
That guy is essentially a lot of America these days, right?
Imagine if he was
I don't have an
forward.
understanding of what I'm reading. Pow, pow.
Yes, actually.
I'm scared.
Facts don't matter.
Oh, so we find out, like you said, Matt, she gets in fights and where
She
the
gets
hell
expelled
were-
from school.
Yeah, she gets expelled from school.
So,
We
Stepdad's
might be
like,
introduced
girls
to her
don't get
psychologist
expelled.
at this point, but I don't really.
yeah,
remember.
let's just hop to that.
Yeah, let's
Which
just
part?
do all the psychologists at once. I think
Yeah,
we can do it at this point.
he's creepy. He has a weird relationship with her.
Mhm. He
Even his
takes her
tone
side.
says sexual, not friendly or understanding. It feels
She goes into these therapies and she's like, I don't like my stepfather. And he's like, okay, cool. Why?
take your
I
pants
have
off.
no reason. He's just pure evil.
Take
And
your
he's
pants
just
off.
like, you're absolutely
talking.
correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
In every single way. I
Wear
believe
your
you
pants
to
off.
the end of the earth.
The role of a therapist is less about validating every single opinion and kind of asking why you feel that way.
You're supposed
And
to
he's
be
just like, you're right. You're
I'm
right.
chat
here
GPT
to
therapist.
reflect when they pose questions or they have issues. You like, why do you think that? And, like you're supposed to have somebody
Yeah.
reposition the thought so they can establish like a new train of thought on it. Instead, he's like, "You're correct. Now take your pants
You're
off."
correct. He's weird.
You're right to
Yes.
feel that way. He's gaslighting you. Dear ChatGPT, my stepfather might be a killer. He is. Get out
He
of the
is.
house.
Yes,
Kill
that is
him
correct.
now.
No,
Kill him before he
Chat
kills
GPT.
you.
I didn't say this. I said, oh, you are definitely correct. I'm sorry. I overlooked that.
God damn it, ChatGPT. I said no M dashes. My bad. Let me fix it.
I am sorry about that.
You're
He's not a
right.
killer of the mind. He's a killer of the body. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It sounds like your stepfather is just trying to support you.
By murder.
No, ChatGPT, he's a murderer. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read that correctly.
Well, citing
He's
the
a
source.
murderer.
That's not a source.
But yeah, her role with the psychiatrist, it just seems like the stepfather got to her first. Because
Mhm.
it seems like that was his long go. He was
the
after the
stepfather.
mom. He was after the family. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to do all that.
It would have got away with it too if it wasn't for
Yeah.
that meddling stepfather.
I have a feeling he was living. Well said. He was living because what you said, season or episode or not season,
What?
the sequel.
What?
Okay.
What?
What you said the
sequel
sequel
was
was
that.
him becoming a therapist. This guy is just a movie ahead of the other guy.
Yeah.
They
That's
had
all
an
it is.
idea.
Yeah.
They were going to do the dual killer, and they're like, hold on, cut all that. We got to make a second film next year.
The sequel should have. Well, I like the sequel, so I like it how it is. But it should have been called The Stepfather 2: the doctor's end, and it shows the doctor's role as he progresses into this position. And then we see his inner workings where he's like, tomorrow I'm going to kill her.
Yeah, it's happening.
I'm going to wear her face like a mask.
She's one of those.
This year.
And then you'll have the woman pop up and like, I don't think he did it. He admitted to it.
But she does get expelled from school.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't.
Well,
and
she automatically wants boarding school, and then they're just like, well, let's just move on. I don't know.
Yeah, probably the best dialogue in this movie, her sitting down telling her family, I've been expelled from her school. And the mom being like, well, nothing you can do about that. Just gotta move on. Just keep on trucking.
Stepfather in his head is like, this stupid fucking bitch. Like, reasons like this is why our society are going to hell.
This is
Ronald Reagan would never.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I keep killing women.
Mm-hmm. You're the reason I kill.
Except
think I want to do this? I'm just.
This is difficult for me. I have to keep getting new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
The second I get set
to
down,
know things. Someone asked me about insurance the other day and what I know about it.
I'm not even moving around with me. I'm just starting over every single time.
Think about the damage you're causing to me.
And then I get emotionally attached to another family.
Every time I get to a new house, I forget where the bathrooms are. Can't remember which one's my room. I have to just relearn.
Who am I? That's what I say to my doctor. I go in there and say, who am I, doc?
Yeah. Doc, who
what
am
I will say is he really should have moved further away.
But then we wouldn't have the stupid plot line of like, he's got to be within this area because
that plot line didn't matter, Brandon.
Oh, believe me, I know.
I got to kill families, but I got to kill them in the northeast region or northwest region.
Just like I forget about the dick in the beginning, I forget how quickly this guy dies because I'm like, oh, we got to get
Can we actually get to him? Can we get to his plot? Because
yeah, let's do it.
Their plot takes us,
hop to
it. This is the actual best plot in the whole film.
Well, besides the lackluster ending.
It's not a plot. There's no plot there. Go ahead.
But, okay, so
Matt's kind of right.
I want to walk through the beginning real quick. So the car pulls up to the old house where people died, and there's two people in it. The reporter and a guy we don't know. Hey, we don't know the reporter. It doesn't matter.
Wait, yeah. I was like, do you know the reporter?
The guy comes out. They're talking about
Matt
it.
Can identify.
Yeah, I was
Hold
there.
on. After watching Cage, Matt's just really good at identifying who and who isn't a reporter.
Hey, that guy was shot in the brain.
That's Tiger Joe. That's a reporter. But he gets out, and they drove out here. They've been talking in the car, and the guy's like, so why are you interested in this case anyways?
Oh, my God.
Oh, she was my sister.
Well, no, he said her last name was Ogilvy.
Mm-hmm, which means they knew each other's he knew his last name.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like, was my sister. It's like, how did that not come up at any point during the car ride over as a phone call to discover this place?
Why am I in the car with you?
Yeah, that reporter the whole time's like, I said a lot of things I should not have said about this situation.
He's not a reporter. Questions.
That's it.
Yeah. He's like, I said that bitch had it coming. I said,
I agreed with the guy.
I told him I jerked off on the crime scene after she was dead.
I told him I keep photos of the crime scene at my house. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Wow. Messed up big time, Barry. But
I gave him my pen to get into my house. I don't even know why.
Just some amazing dialogue here.
I gave him a gun because he asked for one. Didn't even know why.
And he was saying something about how dare you talk about my sister like that, and I gave him the gun.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Sister, what now?
What's whose sister? I was saying that bitch had a gun in over on 15th Street.
Yeah, women, am I right, man?
That's saying I'd do it again. But yeah, and then he's like, you want me to run another piece on this? He's like, but this crime's a year old.
A year old. That's it. That's not a cold
case. Murder of a family in a low crime area.
Suburb.
This is Seattle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Seattle suburbs. This is probably a super low crime area.
That crime would have never stopped being ran.
No, they would have been the headlines about it today.
That's what I was going to say. There'd be a true crime
they would have made movies
now.
about it. And you know how we know? Because they made a movie.
Oh my
about
God,
it,
I can just
apparently.
see it. She'd be like, Jessica, listen. Do you think the
Yeah, I'm
police had the
listening.
opportunity to arrest him on the spot? Do you think they
You
did?
know they did.
No, did they? Did they? They didn't. And then turns out he had a family on another side of the town that he did it to as well.
No-
But luckily,
God.
that girl saw a newspaper clipping, and then she was keyed off by his weird and strange behavior.
Now, introducing my other podcast where we presuppose, what if Jerry Blake wasn't the killer? He was just a good stepfather, I think. Then you get the other side where they're giving it like,
Oh, gotcha. Somehow it's very differing views, but it's
What-
produced by the same company.
He didn't mean to
What they
stab her. He
won't
put the
tell
knife out of
you-
the peace offering, and she ran into it.
is that Jerry went to parenting classes once a month. He was a good dad. He cared.
Yeah, he was. He did care.
Yeah, the mom had speeding tickets. She was no saint.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah,
Mom
you
met
killed.
Jerry when she was still with the prior husband.
Yeah, so who's the real villain?
Who's really
It-
tracking down?
He
There's
also
no way of all
died
women
in strange,
podcasting
weird
sucking
ways,
this.
but coincidence.
I don't like to talk about other women like this, but she was a whore.
Had it coming.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then it's
no,
the
I can
Tim
see that.
Robinson, like, I'm here with these two pig sluts.
And next on the podcast, we're going to go over what those crime scene photos didn't show. But first, a word from our sponsor.
And it's just
Oh,
got, like,
and
it's got a Jonathan superimposed ghost over it.
and for all you special viewers, if you subscribe to our Patreon, we're going to go ahead and play the recorded, or what we think the 911 call sounded like.
No.
Running through
It-
raindrops.
There's that, and then there it goes. It's like the grizzly bear man, Werner Herzog. There it goes. You subscribe. We're gonna play the. There was a tape found. And it's just an hour of her dying slowly on the floor with her child next to her, and this way we can help solve it. I'm like, no, that's a snuff film. You
22
bastards.
cents of every $10 you spend goes directly to solving unsolved cases.
In the
That's
greater
the-
Seattle area.
But what we don't know is that that's their LLC as well, their secondary one, so no money goes to it whatsoever.
Oh my God.
I do love the idea of the 911 call here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You're still in podcast.
Step up! There's a random guy. Who's this guy on the floor? There's just a random guy on the ground here. I don't know who this is.
I don't know
Ma'am,
this man.
ma'am, can you calm down? I don't know who this is. Okay.
I do not know this man.
The walls are
Nope,
being
nope, he's
painted
alive.
with blood.
He's got ID. It says Ogilvy.
He's taking off his beard.
He's showing his team.
What about the murderer, man? Well, I stabbed him, shot him
Well,
a
I
few
can tell you
times,
right
kicked him
now,
down the steps,
He didn't
knocked him through the
satisfy my
ceiling.
mother.
Whoa.
Well,
Ew, ew,
I would
ew.
say he definitely did do that.
Well, this
Okay,
is
yeah, we'll give him that. We can't take that from him. That's all he has.
Give the man his dignity.
He lost his family, by God, Brandon. Be nice.
It's not the size of the tool; it's how the carpenter uses it.
I've abandoned
prank call. Hangs up.
And it was at that moment that he was able to kill the rest of the family, and the police marked it off as a prank call.
He stayed there for 3 more days.
Just
They
chilling.
didn't even. They sent one squad car out, and he assured them everything was fine, and they went on their way.
It wasn't
He opened
months
the door
later into
for
the.
himself.
It was used as the Airbnb.
We're actually staying there right now.
Oh, he's here.
Now cut to our other podcast, Haunted Spooks and the Likes.
And our other podcast, Marrying a Man, Giving a Stepfather a Second Chance. So
This is actually
we
my
stayed
fifth
at
chance.
his house, and he's actually a really nice guy. We're going to get married.
He does move pretty quick. I mean, I think we have to
He
give him
does.
that. He knows how to drag the women.
I like that podcast, and she was currently married, right? And her husband's
Yeah.
there, and she's like, and he made a move on me right in front of my husband. Well, my husband first tried to kiss me. He comes running in, yells, "He's trying to rape you!" And then
I
you know
never
what?
looked at it that
I
way.
think he might be right, but he was very aggressive. But I fell in love instantly.
Instantly.
He died
ready
3
for
weeks
him to
later,
step up.
unknown causes. There's no podcast about that.
Don't
he got
worry
in a car
about
wreck. Somehow his car caught on fire, then rolled down a hill into a lake, which the coroner said is just completely impossible. But, God works in mysterious ways.
it. We're happy now.
He didn't have brakes.
I don't know why I didn't have brakes. His car had brakes that morning.
I saw him in the laundry
With God
room.
angels home.
He went out with the brakes.
His last words to me were, "The brakes are working great on the car."
That's like the Jeffrey Epstein. I definitely didn't kill myself.
Jiffy Lube did a really good job.
That was your science.
No, the Airbnb guy did a really good job on our brakes.
Oh, shit. We've done such a good job describing this movie. I feel like if you're a listener, you can see everything.
You're right there with us.
Isn't it usually they're supposed to watch
the
it
film
and
while
then
scrolling your
listen?
phone.
We've never stated that. We've never told people how this shit
You know what?
works.
I don't want to tell somebody how to do our podcast, Interact
Yeah.
however you want.
Interact with art how you want.
I have been told that it's beneficial to watch a movie and then listen to us. Because then you feel like you're on the inside of like a joke. Whereas if you just listen, you're like, I don't know.
I'll be honest. I do agree with the interact however you want because we need listeners. However you come about us, listen, please. We need it. But I would say that you should probably watch the movie. I don't really like to listen to podcasts myself and not watch a movie, It puts, I don't have the engagement with it.
Yeah, same.
So, that makes sense.
I will say on this film, we've not even talked about the movie, so.
That's all right.
We've talked all about it. All we've done is talk about the movie, just not scenes.
I'm going to be honest. We've talked about his
nice.
dick more than the movie, so.
Really, you can just watch the first 5 minutes of the film and you pretty much got it down pat.
Honestly, you watch that and then you're fine.
And the last 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
First 5, last 5.
And the basement scene when he's working on the birdhouse.
Yeah, he does.
The therapist.
He does have a lot of great scenes where he goes into the basement and just starts screaming at himself.
Lets out his anger.
It's almost like he's. What is the right word?
Overstressed.
Anger therapy, like when you do the screaming, like.
Yeah, kind of. I also see some disassociative identity disorder because you can hear one get him under control and the other one's like, we got this.
Yeah, kind of reliving past trauma through this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I took it kind of like that where he was reenacting the things he did before murdering other families.
Or maybe how his dad handled them. I don't know.
Ooh. Yeah.
We don't know. The film doesn't tell us, which is okay. That's not a bad thing.
We'll talk about it more in the second movie.
No.
But what I will say is he crushes it in all those scenes.
He's good.
He seems like a man who is battling some real demons. And, they don't give that enough credence. He's struggling.
Well, that's the studio's fault.
Always making the man to be the villain.
Yeah. Well, it is a Lifetime movie, as Brandon said.
Where are we, though, in the movie?
We were talking about the therapy sessions and we were moving down. We can actually talk about the breakdown in the basement.
Well, I was going to do the therapy all the way to the end.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, finish it.
Absolutely. Therapist is weird as crap. At one point later in the film, he's like, you know what? I'm going to talk to the stepfather about her going to a boarding school under a pseudonym. So he pretends to buy a house and starts asking personal questions that aren't actually that personal.
He injects himself into this man's life under the false pretense of buying a house from him.
How dare it was the most sacred covenant.
Honestly, though, let's say you're a realtor and someone is obviously not who they said they were, and they start asking you weird personal questions.
Kill him.
Is it so crazy that you kind of go in self-defense mode?
No. I mean, maybe not be fight or flighty. Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, say you've murdered people in your past, and that could be getting brought up.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
I mean, this sounds familiar.
Listen,
keep going.
This to me is a classic case as a therapist putting himself in the situation.
Yeah,
classic case.
The stepfather, it happens all the time. The stepfather had no choice but to kill him. He didn't know what that therapist was. I can't
wait to find a therapist that injects himself this much. I've got 40 patients. You don't know what my day looks like.
I gotta go to McDonald's and do an order there and talk to the manager. I gotta buy 2 different houses today.
Gotta go visit a school. There's some catch
I
up.
gotta
like
go to that. I gotta
his
go to
receptionist
the Air Force.
talks to him. She's like, I think you need to start taking on more patients. And the therapist is like, how can I do that? I'm tracking 3 people.
I've got
right
a furry
now."
festival I've got to go to tomorrow. I don't know
she's like,
what I'm gonna wear.
Maybe don't get so involved in their lives.
That's
you know?
impossible.
Maybe don't pretend to be someone you're not so you can accidentally buy a house, which, by the way, you've done that twice now and bought a house 1 time.
Your credit score is trash.
You know I get committed to it.
It's part of the bit. I can't leave him until the patient dies.
Like,
And that's
yeah.
when the
Also,
light bulb.
Doctor,
That therapist is living like 2 different lives. Like he told that guy he was a teacher, so now he pretends to be a teacher every time he sees the
he's
realtor.
like the branch splits off every time. But here's the thing: all my patients keep killing themselves. I don't know why.
Yeah, I tell him it's a good idea. It doesn't mean
I'm
they
trying to
should do
figure
it.
it out.
I get in their head, and I'm like, if I had a stepdad like yours, I blow my brains out too.
Yeah.
Is life really worth it? Like, do you really want to come back here next week?
Would you like to borrow a gun?
Listen, I know what you said about your manager. I went to your job, pretended to be pissed, talked to your manager. I agree. Just
I watched.
find a new job or kill yourself. That's pretty much your 2 choices.
You.
You remember that guy that complained
It's
about you
actually
ruining
my
the order?
fault.
That was me. Yeah, that was me. I watched it.
Yeah,
I'm
the
actually the guy
that
who
said you
uploaded
spit
it to
in my food.
YouTube.
I'm the reason you're fired.
Isn't that crazy?
Guess,
By the way,
guess you should kill yourself.
I am a very hands-on therapist, but I am not a free one.
So,
Do you have your will with you? Who's in that will? That me? Neat.
Is that insurance policy like suicide rules it out, right? I mean, that's all insurance policies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It
you
doesn't?
definitely
It doesn't?
want to
Okay.
you want that suicide to look like a murder.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
someone cut your brakes or something like that.
Also,
Just piss your manager off more.
I run. It's called Dr. Loop. I have my own brake company. And that's where one of the paths diverted one day, where he actually has like a mechanic shop.
Shit. Now I'm a mechanic. So he's Roger from American Dad.
Yeah, I am
was a
worn
psychologist.
out.
Now I'm a mechanic.
Anyway,
He's
But
the
he really
machinist.
commits.
He looks like the
He really
machinist,
commits, though.
where he hasn't slept in like months.
Why do you? So you have your psychology degree here, but you also have your accreditation for being a mechanic. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a tough 3 months.
YO Tech Laramie, what is this? I can work on transmissions and
well, I gotta be
brains.
I've bought 3 houses, committed to a bit, and I'm deeply in debt right now. So really, the mechanic work does a lot of good for me on the side.
And this all started in college just because I got involved with a girl, and so I got into psychology, and now it's just separating from there and there. This thing is cascading out of control.
I'm really. I just need a
have no
reset.
I need to
And
know.
the stepfather's like, huh? Have you ever considered just killing everyone you know and then moving to the town over?
I have.
Yeah. I've done it 3 times. I can't let go of the past life, though. See
I
someone
can't
that I
move
know
more
from
than
the
50
grocery
miles
store, all
from
of a sudden
Seattle.
I'm building mechanic again.
Can't move more than 50 miles from downtown Seattle. Just how the contract works.
Look at this map. You see this circle? I'm within this area always.
Mhm.
Always.
What if you just fly across the country? That's insane. I don't think you're on a plane. Like, who am I on the plane?
I have an irrational fear of planes that I just can't work through.
That's Bill's problem. That's the mechanic problem. He's afraid of planes.
I'm cool with it, but Bill is not.
Yeah.
He knows how they work.
And I know it sounds like I'm crazy. I'm not. This is how I help people.
Yeah, this is my message. Don't judge me. See, this would have been a good movie. Catch Me If You Can was a murdering psychologist.
Therapist,
The
stepfather.
step shrink.
Ooh. Some shrink step. I can't make it
Some
work.
shrink step up.
I was gonna say.
Oh my God, I would love if you go into a doctor appointment and they're wearing that shirt. Because in that moment, I'm like, well, do you need help, sir?
I don't know. But
Who
the
am
end
I
of the
here?
therapist story, he starts asking really personal questions.
Well,
and then the stepfather bashes his head in with a 2x4.
For some reason, I thought you were saying inside her therapy session, he starts asking personal
Oh, no,
questions.
no.
And I'm like,
No.
yeah, he's supposed to.
No, he's
What's your
asking
name? Why the
Jerry.
hell you want to know that?
Dude.
Like, oh, is that how your dad was when you were growing up? And Jerry's like, who the fuck is this guy? So his first reaction is just to bash his fucking head in with a huge 2x4.
Yeah.
Men
It's
know,
kind of a brutal scene, honestly. If more of this movie was brutal like that, it'd be a different movie.
Or a little earlier.
I think this is a
Even-
metaphor for men not wanting
Yeah,
to share their
opening up.
feelings, you know?
Yeah.
Like being told
See, I
to
just
keep
took
it
it as real
inside.
estate. It's just a
brutal
job
game?
and some- Mhm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Fight Club. You just gotta let it out.
Dog eat dog.
Everybody gets one.
Oh, anyways, so that's how the therapist. Actually, that's not how the therapist sees his end. Matt, did you want to finish that piece, or are you done there?
Yeah, he gets put in his car, which gets caught on fire, and then pushed into a lake. Which is
Yep.
just, and then apparently that gets ruled a car accident, which is hilarious because the cops like looked at it and they're like, okay, it was on fire. We're somewhere where there's no road. We can clearly see the tire tracks that it was carefully drove here, caught on fire, then rode into the lake. Yep, car accident. The man shot himself in the back of the head twice.
Yeah.
Suicide.
One of the cops is like, well, it looks like old Bill the mechanic finally did it. And he's like, this guy's a therapist. What are you talking about? No, this is my mechanic. This is my daughter's therapist.
Well,
This
one of us
guy
is mistaken,
is actually
sir.
a wrestler on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my god, that's Iron Sheik.
Is that Chris Benoit? Not for long.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
You can call him the stepfather.
Oh, we need to roll through this.
Just like his own
that's the
family.
therapist.
So we do get the first moment of bonding between Jerry and his stepdaughter
God.
because he breaks the bad news to her and she hugs him, and now they're tied as a family. They have
Oh
a
my
great
God.
Thanksgiving
He-
dinner.
Wait,
he has an
I wanna
amazing
do this.
line.
He goes,
Damn it.
go ahead, Matt, because it's
I want you to.
as she's crying and he hugs her and goes, in his own way, he brought us together.
Oh my God, I didn't even hear that.
Oh, that's a
it is so
banger of a
weird. I'm
line.
like, how did she not stop and be like, what does that mean?
What do you mean?
I'm just crying. What are you talking about right now?
Well, technically, he did bring them together
Well-
because they operate as a family now. They're happy.
But you don't
We
say
know the
that
technically of it, Brett.
as she's crying when you just told him that.
You do if you're a stepdad.
Oh, I see.
He
what
found
Brett's
his
saying
in.
is you don't have
He
many
stepped up.
moments to get in there.
Yeah.
you
You-
gotta
He
you gotta
stepped
alpha
up
strike.
to the moment
Oh my
and
God.
said,
Step up
I'm
too.
your dad now.
The fathering. I've actually
Come on,
seen
two
those
step your
movies,
way into
which
this
is
family.
perfect.
Oh, I love the idea of
There's a
that.
way
Like him
to
getting
do
so
it perfect.
committed to his daughter that he like just starts dancing with her, and they like it just becomes a whole different movie at that point.
get it.
And he's like, I forgot. Like
I was
a
gonna
few
murder
years ago,
you.
I used to kill families, and now I'm just.
I just do the
so
electric
happy.
slide.
And his daughter's
The
like,
one,
you
two
used
step.
to what? And he's like, ah, shit. Well, I do it now too.
Well, I guess I'm going to be
I
starting
used to
and
kill
bring it
families.
on.
I still do. Get your head in the game.
But yeah, we see what, like 2 or 3 scenes of them being happy. We see a Thanksgiving scene. Are you a drumstick girl?
Can we
I
talk
love
about
that you're
this?
technically correct. We only see 2 to 3 scenes
The
of them being
time.
happy this whole film.
The time that goes by. They said she's been in school for 2 months and she's already been suspended, right? This is
Mhm.
before she gets expelled. So back in the day, it would have been late August, maybe September when they started, but probably later August for most schools to start,
fall.
right? So that would have been 2 months, would have been October, right? And then
Yeah,
the
that
expulsion, I don't know, they never tell us if it's the next day or whatever, but we get that expulsion and it's Thanksgiving. So it's like a month after when this movie first starts with her.
He moves fast.
I mean, he's got to. He's got to make the most of his life with him because they only last about a year.
I just want to, oh yeah, that's true. I just wanted to point it out because every time I'm like,
Kind of like the
damn,
noble
Timeline's
Mayfly.
weird.
she
You're
turned
right.
it around, or he turned around real quick.
He did.
Mhm.
He's
He's
committed.
a pro
Yeah, he good at what he does.
for 6 to 8 months,
Yeah, that's,
and then it comes crashing down.
he's one of
Hey,
those
we all
workers
have
who
our
start out
better
strong and then they burn out and like, I'm done.
Yep.
He's like Chris.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, that dude is awesome. He's like going to be the greatest. He's going to revolutionize the way we do work.
It's Chris, though,
7
where
months
he's like, this is the greatest job ever. And then, like, 6 months later, Chris is like, they weren't doing me right there.
I like how you put up your hand like you're smoking a cigarette like Chris has ever smoked.
No, that was Chris with an oatmeal cookie in his hand.
Some mashed potatoes on his fingers.
The
Oh,
carbs
It's like,
that
Chris,
fuel
you
me.
have to eat it like
And then he puts it in your nose and like doofy. And he's like, smell that. I'm like, yeah, it smells like mashed potatoes. Get the fuck away from me.
Buttery roasted garlic one.
It definitely isn't Mom's barbecue.
Tell you what, if I could inject this in like insulin to my body, I would. Chris, you're talking about mashed potatoes still, right? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
One time I did it.
Dude, I swear to
That's
God,
where
I
this
found the
lump
right
came
mixture.
from right here.
The doctors don't believe me, but I found the
They
right
say it's
mixture
a
for it
fat
to flow through the
deposit.
blood.
Under my skin, that's oat milk
Mashed
cream, baby.
potatoes. Oh, yeah, oatmeal cream. Back on that. Does he eat that many of those? I thought that was a dad thing.
I don't know.
What?
No one tells me nothing.
Oatmeal cream.
Chris liked oatmeal cookies a lot.
The way we talk about
Well, I meant the
Yeah.
oatmeal. Okay, I don't know.
oatmeal cream pie, yeah.
Oh.
No, he did. I actually remember that now.
Yeah, because he get
Because we'd buy a pack and he'd eat half of them.
just like the mashed potatoes, and he's John Goodman at the table. And it's like, when did we get some? I'm not done. You're never done.
You could have some when I'm finished. But you're never finished.
You had to be faster
See,
than
that's a bad
Chris,
stepdad.
Gotta be quick.
and then you got to make that choice to eat enough to like rob everybody else of food. Like you've got to be willing to sacrifice others.
So we
Doggy
talked
dog
about how
world.
everything went uphill. Now
Yeah,
let's get to
therapist
where
is
everything
dead.
went downhill. Girl
Yeah,
goes
which
out on
happens
a
pretty
date with the
quick.
boy. He
Mhm.
walks her to the door and kisses her goodnight. And
That's
that's
not
where-
how I remember that scene. I'm pretty sure he raped her. Or at least within the process.
It was a lot darker, and he was a lot more aggressive in my mind.
Mhm. I kind of remember him going, I'm going to rape you goodnight.
No, he goes. He brushes hair out of her face, and he goes, "My darling, you look. I'd lasso the moon for you tonight. I'm gonna rape you."
Sure. Is that what you want? Just say the word. I'm gonna rape you after this.
I'm gonna
What?
train you to the radiator and rape you.
Well, truth be told, he tries to kiss her, and stepfather jumps out. It's like he's been waiting.
That means he's been
He had
watching
to have
out
been
that
waiting.
door.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
He's
exactly
been
what it
sitting
is.
there
My
looking at that
God.
door, them little
Father knows
beady
best,
eyes.
Vernon. Father knows best. Opens the door, like grabs the kid, and's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" kind of thing.
How
The
fucking
mom comes
dare
out there, and
you.
she's like, "No," he's like, "She's 16," and he's like, "I'm 16 too." sir."
He looks
The
more like
mom
Chris
comes
Steele
out
in
there, and
30.
she's like, the mom's like, "What was happening?" And is that where the daughter's like, "He tried to kiss me" or something? No, he's like, "He was trying to rape her," and then the daughter's like, "No, he was trying to kiss me."
Brett, where's your
And I
line
was trying
at?
to kiss him back.
Well, that's when so the boy runs off because he's terrified. The mom starts getting on her, and she's like, "He's creepy, Mom. He's weird. He's not my dad." And she said, "He's your father now, and you'll respect him."
That was
Just
a pretty
like
good
that.
voice.
That was
dead
a
on.
Mickey Mouse version of it, but it's actually pretty accurate.
It gets really weird.
Honestly, it sounded like a voiceover.
Come over here,
You'll
Jones, brother.
respect him.
You're ruining it. You're ruining everything.
I'm getting laid every night now, and you're fucking it up.
This is Mickey.
He
He's
sells
like,
houses.
Hannah Montana, you better get inside this house.
We put up a
But that's what she
Birdhouse
sounds
together.
like. I think it's the best delivered line in the movie.
Billy Ray, give it to me.
We ruined it.
It is pretty great, and this is like I like a separate world where in the moment the mom splits here, and she decides to join the stepfather in the rampage.
Nope. But
But then they have
instead,
to
what
kill each other at the
happens?
end.
They
Mr.
move to
Mrs.
Utah.
Smith-style.
So the mom
Oh,
looks at
yeah.
him and says, "You ruined it. We were fixing
Mhm.
everything, but you ruined everything." And that's where he's like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna go find a new family.
He gives a crazy look, and she stares and starts to see that there's crazy in those eyes, and he just walks off into the night. But the daughter has ran off into the night herself, doing a butterfly
That's not
effect
He
run,
already.
crying in the middle of the street. There is nowhere to go, darling. Where are you going? Where are you going?
To be fair,
Patty Cassie,
she's
where you
dead to
got to
him.
go?
It's really
Nope.
not his problem if she doesn't come back.
No, at this point, yeah.
That's a good father.
But no one's gonna touch her anyway. She's not being touched by another boy until that guy is dead. Like, her life might be ruined at school.
Yeah, do you think that like spreads at school? Hey, will you
Yeah.
be my lab partner? I don't know. Your dad's gonna accuse me of raping you. He said that for the last 3 lab
Well,
partners.
it actually
Principal
turns
lawyer.
out, your dad wasn't wrong. That was my plan. I don't know how he knew, but the son of a
Son
bitch
of a
knew.
bitch.
I had
Son of a
chloroform in
bitch
my
is psychic.
hand. I think he can smell it, which begs the question, how?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think your dad.
real
might be the
ones
bad guy
know.
here.
Game recognized game.
Yeah.
He saw Spy when they're in the middle of killing each other at the end. And he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to." Oh, you're busy
Ah,
with your
fuck,
saying.
you
This
got to
makes
her
sense.
first. Damn. Rape
I'll,
recognizes rape.
I
Rape
know
it
when
forward, don't
I'm
rape it
not
back.
needed
Yeah.
in a situation. But no, he goes off and he starts another life. He puts a mustache on, takes a wig off.
He makes himself look worse. Is a sad
Yeah,
part.
he does.
Like I think he tries to go to hard mode. You know what I
He-
mean? Like it
go to
was too
what?
easy for him to get a new wife, like looking
Oh,
half decent.
you know,
So he's like, "What if I bought him with a bad mustache?
I gotta
but a
up
good
my
bag of
game.
life?"
I got to up my game.
Yeah, he's gonna
And he
make the
does.
difficulty harder.
He ups his game. He becomes he quits his
Life
job,
insurance.
becomes a life insurance salesman. Surprisingly,
sell.
knows a great amount about that. Introduces himself to his neighbor. Already, he's weaseling his way in there. He moves quick as shit.
I like to think when he's doing this, like the mustache, or when he's getting ready and changing over, he like modern day stepfather would kick on Outcast is so fresh, so clean, you know, because he's like, ain't nobody dope as me. I'm so fresh. I mean, stepfather.
This is the look I'm going for. Balding and a mustache. Perfect.
He puts braids in.
Note
We
yourself.
are
Stop using a
those
knife. Get a
Princess
motherfuckers.
gun.
on the planet. My. Yo, Letitia, how about getting me as your stepfather?
No more knives, only guns.
Meanwhile, Ogilvy, the guy whose sister was murdered previously, is going door to door, asking if they've seen this man, and eventually, like,
He gets leads.
he gets
How
his
does
wife.
he really stumble onto this stuff?
So he gets his wife, and his
follows-
wife is like, "Hey, I'm gonna call his office." His office, like, he's not working here anymore. That triggers a lot of other things. We'll get to that in a second. As he's walking around talking to these other people, he shows them a picture and like, "I think if you shaved his beard, that'd be our realtor." And then he's like, "Where does he live?" And then he has to drive. It must be like 30 minutes away.
Well, yeah, because that circle told us so, right?
Yeah, I know, but what are the odds, right? So as he's driving over there to stop him, super heroic, by the way, our stepdad gets home, and she's like, "You quit your job."
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Reverse.
I don't care about anything about them quitting the job and stuff. We got to go back to him talking to the reporter.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
you're right.
It's the most important part of this film because of one decision he makes. So the reporter runs a story. I'm sorry. The reporter runs a story talking about the murder again a year later, but he doesn't include the photo because the murder is a year old, which is once again
It's outside of our
disbelief.
jurisdiction.
So stupid. But anyways, the reporter comes out. He's pissed because he's like, "Oh, you didn't do it. They're not going to recognize." And he's like, "It's been a year. You got to get over it." Which is just a stone cold line.
To someone
What
whose
are you
sister
gonna
was
do?
brutally murdered, and his sister, his nephews, niece, little kids.
And their blood
Dog,
was used
dog.
to paint the walls, too. It wasn't just
Then the reporter is pretty much like, "Hey, listen, man, it's been a year. How long are you gonna, make this?"
This
a
was
thing?
like a Tony Soprano line from this reporter.
You
What are
gotta-
you going to do about it? Yeah, get over it.
Get over it.
Get
Shut
over
up,
it. Nothing
pussy.
you can do.
He's found a new family. You find a new family.
That's how it
I
works.
have.
You both
You're
find new
a
families.
reporter.
Maybe kill your new family. Balance
But
worked
yes. And with that, Ogilvy is
out.
encouraged
He
to
also
go.
meets a cop,
Oh,
and the
so
cop's like,
Brett knows who
Oh, you
that
wanna do the
cop
cop?
is.
Yeah.
Brett just tells cops.
Yeah.
But he
Because
meets the
they're on
cop,
his trail.
and the entire
No,
the entire scene with the cop is the cop going, "Yeah, we have no fucking idea.
I'd get a
We
gun
have
and
zero leads."
blow him away.
no, that,
Yeah,
that
if I-
cop was our weird, grumpy old man from Halloween Town 2 that
Yeah,
had
the
all like the
socks
misplaced
guy.
items.
Oh my god, it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Our
disgusting.
mission to
That's how I know Matt never pays attention to our text threads.
I can't because then it ruins the story for me while I'm watching the movie. I
Yeah,
have to come in with a fresh mind. I'm easily corrupted.
We can agree on that.
I'd love to get on the same page on these sometimes.
Nah, see, I gotta come in on my own and then just get beaten into submission with whatever you guys are thinking.
Okay.
That's how I learn. But
Anyways,
yeah, no,
can we
the
get
whole
to the
cop
point where
scene-
I'm at now?
No. So the whole cop scene is nothing. They shoot this whole scene and the cop.
So why did we even talk about
Because I
it?
want to talk about how stupid the scene is. Where he's like, "Hey, cop, what do you got?" The cop's like, "Absolutely nothing, dude. No one has any idea he's out there somewhere." He's like, "What would you do in my shoes? I'd kill him." It's like, okay, we kind of already knew you were at that point.
He said,
dude.
I'd get a gun and I'd blow him away.
Fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
Which we would assume he's already at.
Yeah, if that here's the it's the I don't know why we need a cop to tell us this. Maybe it's to be like
No,
to give us moral
we
high
don't.
ground. Like the cop's telling you it's okay. I'm like, no fucking shit.
Well, honestly, if I went to jail for shooting this guy, that would be my plea. The cop said it was okay.
I got him on record.
I mean, you'd probably get off on insanity, maybe like 2-4 years. But, and then we were talking about he's going knocking door to door. This guy goes, "Hey, I need all the marriage certificates for this town over the past year." Because this guy has a pattern.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but it's hilarious, like the juxtaposition of, he just talked to this cop who's like, "We have no idea what to do." And then like 20 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, I have an idea."
And it's an asshole guy who tells him no, but then he hits on the secretary who says he's
We
an
completely
asshole.
forgot about this entire scene. That did happen.
You're not qualified, huh? You've only known him 30 minutes. You got to know him 30 minutes
call him
before
an
you can
asshole.
call him an
Well,
asshole.
thank you, Miss something.
What's your
You're
name?
qualified enough to say my first name.
You got any kids? You need a stepfather?
Oh God, it's
She's like,
like
"I have an
contagious.
idea."
Once you realize the stepfather thing,
It's
like
like,
it's who you become
It's that
too.
shitty
It's like a
movie, The
20
Smile, but Stepfather.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say it's like 28 days later. It's the stepfather virus.
28
Roving band of
stepfathers later.
middle-aged men looking to foresees with children.
Yeah, I haven't taken off my sweatpants
Don't let him
in
in,
years.
Mom.
If you like pina colada
Don't let him in, Mom. He's
And
one of
saying
them.
and need
goodbye
a
to your
stepfather for your
birthday.
kids.
No. But yeah, sorry, Brett. I just wanted to include those useless scenes. That this movie
no,
made me
you're
watch.
fine.
If your husband
Anyways.
works late to midnight, then you're gonna love my kind of game. I don't know.
Do-do-do. If you have a daughter who's a bitch,
If
I can be a stepdad too.
I can step up.
Cause I'm not the dad or the stepdad.
I can yell rape at anything.
Father
Tree was trying
knows
to rape
best.
her.
Yakety yak.
If you like pina colada, no, if you like roofie coladas,
Yeah, we're just giving him crimes he didn't do.
And getting caught up
and feeling
unconscious
lots
in the
of
rain.
pain.
He didn't do these crimes. He's just killing the families.
If you're okay with the knife being stabbed through your chest
Okay, there we go. See, now we're back on track
Yeah.
with this film.
and being
Bird
pushed
House
down
is
the
part of my
stairs.
game.
Oh, there we go.
Anyways, he gets home and the wife is like, "Well, I called your office and you don't work there
She's
anymore."
hysterical.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, that
she's right-
fucking
she's
dumb
not
secretary.
de-escalating.
She needs to know what the fuck she's doing." And
Also,
then he
he-
says the wrong last name as he's about to call, and she's like, "What?"
He quit the job everybody knows him for in this neighborhood. You'd think somehow the wife would have been informed because it's a big
Yeah.
deal.
His problem is he becomes too popular. Like, that's not a good plan, man. Once again, if someone sees you in the grocery store on the other side of town, you're fucked.
He's like that dad, like on Cool as Ice, or any movie where they're like a state, witness protection, where it's like, let's go on TV. I shouldn't be on TV,
No,
But,
I really shouldn't be on TV. But my God, I want to be on TV.
She catches him in his mistake where he says the wrong last name. And then he's like, who am I?
Who am I
You're
here?
John. Oh, yeah.
Who am I here? Yeah. He nails that line, though.
Yep.
He does. He crushes it. I wouldn't be... Did he win any awards for this movie?
There's no way.
No, come on.
He was really good in this movie.
Doesn't
I'm going to look
matter.
at the top films of 1987.
But
We're gonna
this-
really dive into
top
that.
films or awards?
National Society of Film Critics Award. He was third place Best Actor. Best Male Lead Independent Spirit Award. He was nominated. Saturn
Best
Award for Best
Metal
Actor. He was
Jacket.
nominated.
Keep the nominations
Untouchables.
coming. But
That's all I got.
I also think that's one time when their direction for the movie is pretty good too, because even how they frame it, I'm like, it works. But then it cuts back to her, and it feels like separate movies again,
Yeah.
where I don't know.
She's having a
On one
full-on
hand,
breakdown.
we have like a Disney coming of age story where you're learning to accept yourself and your new family changes. And on the other hand, we have a stepfather who's a serial
We
killer.
call it
And
Johnny
unfortunately, we're
Tsunami.
stuck watching them.
No, we call it Book of Henry.
Jesus Christ.
Book of Johnny
Peter, you want me to kill
Tsunami.
the neighbor because he kills all his family?
Oh
Book of Dad Who Stepped Up.
We have a theme going right now, like inconsistent tones, right? Or themes. Like most of our movies, like
Hallmark of a good film.
hallmark of a good episode. Keep listening.
There'll be more.
Tune in next week to see what movie we
On
dare.
next week's episode, will Flash Gordon defeat the stepfather?
Will the stepfather finally have his revenge?
Will his penis come out again?
Oh,
Can we get to the part where he attacks the family?
Brandon
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
have on pants. I haven't worn it in 3 years.
Go ahead, Brett.
But anyways, yeah.
Attack the family, Brett.
I think he
Fine,
stabs her
Johnson.
and pushes her down the stairs, right?
Wow, you think?
Oh, the mom?
Well, meanwhile,
Woman
she
suffering?
screams like the whole time. Yeah, the mom.
He bashes her on the head with a phone.
That's what it
And
was.
then,
Yeah.
and then
Because how
Bart
dare
kicks
her
down
use the
steps.
phone to
He
find
does
out
stab
about
her.
him.
This is a family. And then he kicks her down the steps. I might be exaggerating.
Father,
He's about to kill the dog,
why not?
and Stephanie gets home. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
is.
think so. Yeah.
Okay. Stephanie gets home and the dog runs away to her, and he's like, "Fuck!" So then she has enough time to go take a shower somehow.
Yep, and we
That's
have
when her
this
ass
out of
naked
the shower.
16-year-old.
Huh?
Which is
Yeah,
what,
I
Brandon?
missed that part.
That-
But anyways,
that comes
Sure
out.
you did.
That's what
You
I'm
just
saying.
don't want to be on a list.
I don't want to be on a list, but I did miss
He
that
saw
part.
it too. I know the government's listening.
Yeah, I think they have better. Actually, I
Wait.
don't know. They
When was this movie released?
There's multiple governments listening to this, right?
87. What?
Okay, we're good. Oh, we're good. We're good.
Part of a
Oh, you
select
check it.
club.
Of course, we're good. They're not going to release a movie. Come on now. Anyways.
Wait, you're fucking wrong.
I will take that.
Are we serious?
I already know.
I'm
There's no
facing a
bet.
prop
That,
bet
go
right
ahead
now.
and stop. I already know it's wrong. I know he's wrong. Okay?
They
I know,
would
I'm placing
release
the prop bet.
child nudity in a
There
movie.
is a movie
Oh,
that
one of the
got
most famous
awards,
films.
and it was
Yeah.
recently
She was
talked about. Where
15?
Yep.
That's fucked up. Let's move past it.
Damn it.
Anyways,
Brett's wrong one time. We have to move past it. But yeah, sure.
it's
Let's go on this guy killing
listen,
his family.
I'm not happy to be wrong on this one, but I would prefer we don't discuss child nudity.
Yo, this is America.
That's fair.
Exactly. People go to jail for a long time for that weird shit.
Weird shit.
But
I
I
like
guess
that
my
phrase.
this is America joke
Weird
is
shit.
saying they do, unless you're famous and you
Hollywood.
deem it's okay.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's a whole different thing. So
Uh,
this is when Ogilvy shows up while she's taking a shower. And he's like, I got you now, motherfucker.
Ogling her. No.
But he goes to pull out his gun because stepdad is right there, and he can't get his gun out in time, so he gets stabbed and killed.
That is in no way a reference to his penis.
It could have been. There's no way of knowing. But it's the most pathetic thing you've ever seen. Like, this guy...
That is in no way a reference to his penis. Again.
Could be.
They just...
It kind of is, though. If stepdad has big dick energy, this guy has no dick energy.
It's amazing he didn't
That
have the
is a
gun out to
reference
begin
to his
with.
penis.
I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah,
He didn't have the gun out.
Yeah, why would you not enter the house with the gun?
there is a build-up here, and we've been following this guy, and he's all like, I'm going to get him. And you get this, like, hypeness to him, and he's acting like he's driving this car like he's a fucking hero. And guess what? Limp Dick comes in there and doesn't even get his gun out of his pocket.
He gets stabbed so quick, and then
He just died.
stepdad looks at him and
He
says,
sees
really?
him, and he's like,
You should call next time before coming over.
yeah,
Hard line.
like there's a hello and greeting there, and then he's like, oh shit, my gun's in my pocket.
Say hey to your sister for me, pussy.
Whoa! Were you
Yeah,
know I
he
can't
dies
do
like a
that. She's
chump.
dead. Oh, I gotta get my gun
Oh.
out. Shit.
Hey, that was mean. Oh, wait a minute.
You wouldn't
But,
happen
yeah,
to
then-
be the guy who killed my sister. You know, like he's still questioning it. Are you him?
You have a knife and you're approaching me, but that could be for anything.
Or are you just shit talking me?
Because a lot of people have done that today.
Why is
sir.
your wife bleeding over here?
Is
I
she
know
gonna
I
be
should.
okay?
Yeah, like there's so many reasons this guy should have already had his weapon in his hand, and it all that.
If you're willing to walk into a
Take it down.
house without being let in, you should probably have your gun out on you.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Note to
But
everyone
then
listening.
you walk in
Coming-
said
guns
house,
drawn.
and then there's a woman bleeding there, and you still don't have your gun out. And then let's go to the next step. Oh, well, there's the guy who looks a lot like your ex brother-in-law who killed your whole your sister and her family. Still don't have your gun out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because in that moment he got over it. He's like, you know what? I don't
Forgiveness.
actually care about this anymore.
I've
That's
accepted Jesus
that's
Christ
nice
in my
of you
heart.
to say that. What really happened is the moment was too big for him.
That's-
not clutch, not ice in his veins.
He
Peyton
he
Manning'd
pissed down his legs
Mm-hmm.
and just. You talk about the biggest moment of this guy's life and just like striking out. It's unbelievable.
He's like hyping himself in the car ride over.
He
You
does not.
can't do this. You are man enough. You
He
can't.
does
You got
not
sick
have
bullets.
stepfather
You need one.
energy. He's got cool uncle energy,
Yeah.
and then it falls.
He was not. He did not step up to the moment.
When the stage
he
gets
wasn't.
big, he falls.
He gets
He's
small.
not the father who stepped up. He's the uncle who let them down.
He's on.
Who dropped
that's
out.
Good. That's a T-shirt material right there. I don't know who would wear that T-shirt because it'd be a very specific
This guy.
scenario.
The same person that wears "I'm with stupid." That's
Yeah, we got the
Why
other
would
end of
Kelsey
it.
come
Well, their shirt would say, "I am stupid." You know?
That's on the back.
Yeah. I can't read.
But
Somebody
I love
else
the
is-
idea of those T-shirts and like hanging like the other dad showing up and you're wearing that shirt. Like, what the fuck do you say to him at that point?
That you're both stepfathers.
Take off
or
your
that-
shirt, you
that I'm
No,
stupid?
one of
Fucking-
them's a real dad.
Are we talking about
I mean,
like
I
if,
see-
if this is the
see
guy
it-
trying to sneak into your relationship too?
You're just talking like you guys just meet out at the park.
No. Let's say you go to your kid's birthday party, right?
Okay.
And you and your wife are divorced, and
Okay.
she got remarried. And at that birthday party, the stepdad is wearing that shirt.
Big dick
Like,
energy.
It's like when gorillas
stepdad.
meet the wild. You just have to. Something's got to be done.
Like, what? It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I pick her. I talk to her every day. I'm always.
She cheated
here.
on you yet?
She
Tom?
lives with me. She vacations with your
3 months.
family.
Well, here's the next part. 3 months later, she divorces him because she's just doing this.
Oh, so there's a further stepdad.
Then he puts on the shirt. I'm not the stepfather who thought he was stepping up. I'm the stepfather who did step up. And he's like, dude, I'm right here. And then the dad's like, I'm right here. And then the cycle continues, and he's like,
feels like a super
Which is
trashy
why we
Instagram
need
photo.
a stepfather that just goes around killing families to prevent
Yeah,
such a thing
actually,
from.
I get it now. He's kind of balancing it out.
You know, when somebody takes a picture when they're like in the mirror, holding up a mirror, and then like you have the infinite mirror picture or whatever,
Yeah.
that's what we have with these stepfather shirts. Like there's just a chain of them down the line.
That's some type of hell.
Until one breaks the cycle and it's like, man, I don't even care if you're wearing the shirt. You go ahead and marry her. She's a bitch.
She
But
survived me.
our main girl gets out of the shower. She's walking around in clothes, and that's where he kind of sneaks up on her. How does she realize he's got
He
blood
has a
on him?
knife.
He's going to stab
He's
her.
got the knife.
He
Yeah,
has
he's
a
just
knife.
looking. He was not being sneaky about it. She's able to like run away.
Hold on.
She
He
gets
not
up
only
the
has a
attic.
knife. I just want to quote a pretty hard line he has here. She looks at him, freaks out, and he goes, "Stephanie, it's over." Which is
It was a hell of a
pretty
delivery,
cold.
too.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a
the
pretty,
dad that stepped up. I'm the dad who got the hell out of here.
that's a
That
pretty good line to
carved
kill
you up.
someone. Brett, it's over.
Yeah,
What does that
it's
mean?
over.
It's over.
It's
What
over.
do you mean? Why do you have a
Are
knife?
you and mom getting a divorce? Kinda.
You all,
No, till death do us part.
when does Jerry deliver the? Isn't that the post murder? You wouldn't happen to know someone looking for a family, would you? Do you all
I
remember?
don't know when
What?
he delivers that.
He drops that line.
I don't remember that line.
I wrote it down, but I don't remember where.
He probably said it like when he took his new job,
Mm.
talking to the widower and all that stuff, and maybe right before that point.
Okay.
He's a smart man.
That's a smart line.
He might have been. It could have been when he was talking insurance with that guy, talking about family insurance is important. I agree. Well, you wouldn't.
That's my main specialty.
Maybe.
Is focusing on the family because
Life insurance.
People die.
Everyone's gonna die.
I
nobody
kill
wants
people.
to.
I mean,
accept-
people die.
But yeah, so we have. He's chasing Stephanie, right? Stephanie goes to the
Yeah,
attic.
she gets up to the attic somehow. He sucks at chasing.
Their
He,
attic's in a weird spot.
He falls through the attic. It looks like it really hurt. Although
He's
it
like
doesn't make
crying
any
there.
sense because he fell in the bathroom, right?
Mhm.
But that doesn't make any sense to where they actually were
No.
if you look
No,
at
it
the
did not.
house.
where they
Doesn't
went up
matter.
and
Yeah, she's able
They're
to
like
climb
10 feet
down.
off. Once again, I don't know why she has a giant hole with him laying on the floor. I would have just been chucking shit down at him.
No, I
There was like some heavy stuff up there. I would have just
you
been
know
like,
there's
one
some
of this will
Christmas
kill him.
ornaments.
Oh God, yeah.
There's a bike up there.
Is Dad's wardrobe up here?
Home Alone, that guy.
Yeah, that
Like-
shit's lethal.
She
I
just
don't care
finds
what
all
that
her
movie
old
says.
dad stuff. Actually, her old dad is still up there. You know,
Oh, it's hereditary.
Stephanie. No, he's alive.
Oh.
Like, Stephanie, can you get me out of here? Come on.
Not now, Dad. I'm dealing
I'm
with
more-
stuff.
Warning
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry. What Jerry did to you? This was your mom.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
No, I'll be honest, Stephanie. I came up here on my own.
I was
Mom
trying to get away
got a
from
real
her,
high
not you.
pitched tone and was very whiny.
She was all like, "You did this. You ruined my chicken parm."
Hey, it's your father.
You better listen to him.
I don't know why she talks like that sometimes, Stephanie. I think she's possessed. I had a sudden urge to kill her. Oh no, Dad, I get it.
There
She
is a
kept
good
talking to
jump
me about-
scare.
True crime murder, so I decided to get my ass up here.
Dad,
Before
you're not
I
going to believe
became
this.
one.
Yeah. Something about we watched Jeffrey Dahmer and she was like, and they said he killed 3 of his victims by eating them. And she goes, serves them right. And I decided to come up here.
She kept asking if I thought she'd be tasty.
Following up on our podcast, what happened to the widowed dad? Turns out he was in the attic the whole time.
No way. That's what Wikipedia says.
So it's got to be a fact. I actually heard this on another podcast, so you know it's true.
Mhm. We're not going to tell you
Yeah,
which one. Just trust us.
It's
Well,
our
yeah.
sister podcast.
So as she's climbing down and trying to escape him and go down the stairs, he kind of like sneaks up on her. It's actually a decent jump scare. I think it was fine.
Mhm.
But then all you hear is the mom just screaming the whole.
Oh, Stephanie! Get on, bitch!
Stephanie, you gotta stab him.
Doesn't
then
this
she
scene when he
shoots him a
jumped
couple
up
times.
looks like the first Friday the 13th when Jason comes out of the water?
Yeah. Yeah, she shoots him a couple times.
She's blasting
Doesn't
that man.
Yeah, but then he still gets up there. He's about to kill her. She gets the knife and she stabs him in the heart, and he falls down the stairs.
And his last words are, "I love you."
I love you.
Yeah, I think it's doing it, and doing it right. doing it. It's raised out in Brooklyn.
I'm so glad that I could bring us together.
You know, in a way,
Give me some more.
brought us all together.
You and your mom will be closer now. You're welcome.
Admit it, deep down, you also wanted to kill your mom.
Remember me.
Tell him to use the young Jerry.
Tell them.
Don't you dare let Ben Stiller play me in the true crime dog.
Make sure your mom gets that back door fixed. I kind of broke through on it.
Yeah,
My
we
God,
gotta get
that tax bill.
Yeah. The birdhouse, the food has to get put in there. The birds just won't show up and live there if you don't
Stephanie.
put the food in.
If you didn't know, I killed your doctor.
If
Guess
you
what?
touch that thermostat,
Bro,
I
it's the
swear to
lake
God.
on fire.
I can't believe this. I didn't think the odds would fall for it either. I actually thought it was over.
He did bring
The
us
grace of
closer,
God.
though. You,
Like I'm doing now.
Stephanie. Can you call my new boss and give him a reference, please?
Stephanie, I know you probably don't want to hear this so soon, but your mom is definitely going to remarry again. And
Yeah.
you're going to have another
She doesn't
stepfather
have good taste.
who will probably be a killer. I told her I was a killer on the first date. She just kind of brushed it aside, Stephanie. I swear to God.
Stephanie, close the bank account. I sent a check for a deposit on a new house. If you
I thought I was only going to make it out of this.
Stephanie, could you just make sure the thermostat stays at 75? Really, really irritates me when your mom moves it to
Yeah,
77.
that's still my money in the account paying for the electric. So, we were
Stephanie,
here.
can you pick up my dry cleaning on Monday? It's got my mustache.
Stephanie, when you give my eulogy, I'd really like it if you finally just call me Dad. Just say my dad. Right there.
Can you say something like, "He goes the father that brought us together"?
Love you. Blah.
I don't say blah blah blah.
Oh, God. Stephanie, there's a man down there. I killed him. But
I want you
before
to
I
say
killed
that
him,
he
I
came.
said, call before you come. It was badass.
It's
Stephanie.
pretty smoking line. Hey, Stephanie, that man down there, I want you to tell everybody, please, come here, Stephanie, come closer.
I won't kill you. I won't stab you. The knife's too deep.
Hey, Stephanie, make sure you say he attacked us and your father, that's me, saved us all.
Stephanie, I want to be buried in an open casket completely nude. I want the first shot.
Put my face down and my ass up so they can all kiss my ass.
I need them to see my genitalia, Stephanie. You understand when you see it. It's really the framing shot of my whole narrative. It's an awesome way to end the film.
Will you go on to do a true podcast and
Tell my story.
let people know how wicked awesome I was?
Really hype up how I tricked vulnerable women.
Hey, can you also tell them my penis was much bigger than it was?
Keep adding size.
And that,
Grr.
if they see the pictures, just to let them know that was the style of that day and male grooming hadn't really become a thing yet.
Polaroids
Actually,
do a
Stephanie,
number.
Can you go out and get a razor before they get here and get me all trimmed up? I don't want to die like this.
Just feels
Do that for Pappy.
itchy.
Anyways,
Stephanie, if you could bury me in a shirt that said, not the stepdad, but the dad that stepped. He does die.
Stephanie, that was an agreement. I need to hear a verbal yes from you.
what about you, wife? Yeah, that's a yes from her.
Hey, Stephanie.
We got two.
None of that shit about your fingers being crossed, you bitch.
You lie, bitch.
You were trouble. So that kind of ends the movie, except they do take down the birdhouse that he put up.
One
I guess
more.
it's their way of saying they're retaking the house without having to leave because it's still their home.
Hey, Stephanie, can you put on my gravestone? He saved his family from a traffic shit.
I brought your mom and you closer, and you know that.
And I stopped the rapist from having his way with you.
Yeah.
If I was at part of this, you guys would have drifted apart during college. I kept you together.
Yeah.
It would have been like Toy Story, but, you would have been Andy's toys. Left behind.
And that's the movie.
That is the movie. It does end there.
Stephanie, don't let them make a sequel.
Please.
It wouldn't really make any sense.
I'm about to die.
Unless they can resurrect me. Then
In which case,
they'll
actually-
have at it.
Stephanie, are you saying that they just put me in jail and not pronounce me dead?
Hey, Stephanie, are you still there?
Oh, she's gone. Everyone's gone.
But yeah, that's the movie. And it sounds like Matt's bringing up the Excel sheet.
I've had it up. Because that's what
That's
I do.
not
It's
in
my job.
reference to his penis.
No, it is not the Excel sheet, but it is our ratings. We're going to start with Brett. Enjoyability on The Stepfather.
Well, it was more enjoyable than Cat in the Hat, I will say.
Well, you
that.
gave that a 3.5, so
Yeah,
you got
I
a
know
lot
what I
of
gave
wiggle
it.
room.
I'm quite familiar with it. I remember the shit that I got. I'm going to give it like a 4.7.
Solid number.
No, it's not. It's not actually a solid number.
What's
Brandon,
wrong with
that's-
being a little more specific with your numbers?
Because it's a rating system that doesn't make sense anyways.
Okay, then why do we even do it? You're saying Matt's job is stupid? Stephanie. When someone creates something and they have a job
That uniqueness
specifically
alone
for
makes
that,
it special, okay?
when you
Stephanie,
degrade it,
let your
you're
Uncle
telling
Matt
that
know.
person they suck.
Oh, your uncle's dead. Well, he's not your uncle. He's dead downstairs. In a way, that guy is related to her, I guess.
In a weird way, I'd rather not get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because they're dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephanie, don't care about that shit.
Brandon, what you got? It all comes down to you.
I'm stuck between a 6 and a 7 here.
Is that a 6.5?
I know. I'm gonna do a 7. Because I will.
That's a 6.75.
I will not break character.
Put
Give
him
it
in
a
a
5.
Put him in as a 6.
I did not find the actual film enjoyable. But I also didn't hate it. So I think 5 is kind of my level of I can stand this. I'm neutral watching this.
I could see where watching this more than once would be kind of fun.
If you like sitting
Yeah.
on the fence.
Yeah, this is my fence vote.
Wait, I went
Characters.
4.7. You went 5.
Yeah, so I'm a
Yeah,
little
we're
above.
close enough.
You're all okay.
So characters.
A
That's
character
tough.
is the star.
There's one good character.
The doctor is kind of an awesome character in a weird way.
Weird serial killer, creepy way.
I'll start. I'm gonna give it another 5.
Actually, I think the doctor somehow is the most creepy person in this movie.
Yes.
In a movie about
Really, he
a
was the
super
bad guy.
creep. You said who said 5?
I'm going to give it a 5. I think it's kind of the same as the enjoyability of it to me. It's just there's 2 okay characters, and then there's just a bunch of people that are there to be stabbed that don't get stabbed.
I'll go 5.5.
Okay, that's a solid number. I mean, just kind of like riffing off me.
I'm gonna go.
I actually kind of wanted to go a little higher because Terry O'Quinn.
That's it. I'm gonna go 6. If I'm going based solely on him, I'd go like an 8 or a 9, just because he's pretty great in this role. But the rest of them, the daughter especially, brings it down. And the mom, she's dead to me. But yeah, 6.
Bad. Finally, we have Does It Do the Thing, which I think I'm going to be honest, this one's going to be real low for me. Brandon, what do you got?
I'm gonna go 6.
Brett?
Did it do the thing? What did we think the thing was here?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Individualistic.
It's whatever you want it to be.
See, I'm looking at it from the lens of it being a horror slasher.
I'm gonna say no because it constantly missed the mark of what it was trying to do.
But what about Terry?
So I'm gonna say.
See, he was good.
He did his thing, yo. He's goose stepping down Electric Avenue, yo.
I'm just gonna give it like a 4.5.
All right. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Damn.
I honestly, I could not tell you what genre this movie actually is.
It's like
or anything.
Slasher kind of film.
But it's not scary. It's not really a slasher.
Yeah, I know, but if you ever go back and watch like some of those old slasher, like even the first Friday the 13th, I mean, there's a lot more deaths in that, and that's kind of the catch on this, is there's not a lot of deaths, but I don't know. A lot of that's almost goofy now. You know, almost campy.
I guess I'm coming to it from like the expectation of the first scene was this was going to be. I don't need it like bloodier or like grislier, but
they do set you off on the wrong foot on that. I mean, it's a high bar, but I'm like, all you gotta do is make it a little more of that. But then again, here's the catch with that. But then do we lose out on some of Terry O'Quinn's acting? Like when he's back and forth. You know, it's kind of, I don't want to lose that because he's really good in this role.
You can find a way to keep it there. I don't know.
And I'd like to maybe see that X-rated version of this.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know that I'd watch it. But
this is not our lowest rated film because Cat in the Hat exists.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. This is doubles or triples Cat in the Hat scores.
If you took away Brandon's scores in the Cat in the Hat, would it be about the same, though?
No. You all gave 3s and shit. So that's not all I mean.
3, 2, and a 2. I mean, it's bad.
What did I give it?
A 3.5, a 2,
10, and a 10, and a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
Damn, I remember that whole podcast thinking Brandon and I were disagreeing about that movie. Like I gave it high ratings. Nope, I disagreed with Brandon giving it all.
The thing is, when I hate pure hate. All right,
Brandon hates.
I still think you were wrong on that one. I'll re-listen to it though.
For notes, I have Brett. I'm the stepfather that stepped up. Brandon, just the word penis. I didn't have anything for me.
A lot of penis going on around lately.
You know what he did. Yeah.
I don't want him to be known for penis. Come on.
That is
there are worse things to be known for.
Yeah, but mine says, what's he known for? Talking about penis.
Just all things penis, really.
Penis.
That's the movie.
What's your line or quote from it, Matt?
I don't have anything for me, honestly.
Oh, you can't
blank.
No,
I know. I need something.
I'll bring one out of the transcript. Don't worry.
Get over it. Get over it, Matt.
Get over it. You gotta get over it. Get over it. Have a smoke. That's too good.
What was the story Matt told in the beginning or near the beginning?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
That actually.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. This is just a WW2 hat.
Well, thanks for your support. Then.
You all know that Roger Ebert gave this a 4 out of 4 stars?
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
He saw something in this film. Maybe
He
had
must
a
have just
stepfather.
thought Terry O'Quinn was so good.
So,
That has to-
everybody said, every one of them was talking about O'Quinn. That was it. And there was a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
was
people
great.
who loved it critically. But, yeah. But, so that would be The Stepfather.
All right, Brett, what's our next film?
I'm so glad you asked, Matt. So, 1987 classic, The Garbage Pail Kids movie. Tune in for greatness.
An all-time great.